Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Oh, shut your mouth.
Testing the limits once again. How late can he take his position in the seat?
I'm here.
This time it was my "don't get me started" bit.
I was standing up, Jeremy, because I was adjusting myself as I want to do, and then I kind of felt like I wanted to
moving the testicles from left to right, as is tradition.
In the words of Ariana Grande, from side to side, and got me moving side to side. And she was talking about my testicles. That's a true fact. That's a true fact. Welcome in, everybody, to this, the 68th edition of Don't Get Me Started. I'm Alex, this is Jeremy. We're in Jeremy's house.
Shay Jez.
Shay Jez.
What we decided on?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Jez J.
Or was it Jezzy House? I don't know. It is the domicile in which I reside.
Yeah. And you've got, because of that, you've got some alcohol.
I do.
It's incredible.
And after Karis made me get out of my seat and turn on the TV in the kitchen, I brought more alcohol.
Unbelievable. I could have some. I could just stay here, but I'm not. I'm going to drive home afterwards. So
fair enough.
I'll just drink the Pepsi that's there. Welcome in, everybody. Karis is here. Tam's in, saying watcher. I did see Aletha's here. Harmstone's here, obviously. Pretty sure I saw a Luxy P as well.
Yes.
That's the Lux. He's here.
Yes.
Reese is there.
Yeah. Luxy P by any other name. Astrolux 23.
Astrolux to his friends.
Yeah. Reese is here. A merry fuck shed store to you. Well, you know, I've noted as we finished the last show here that we let the anniversary of Shed Store just come and go. Just passed us by.
Yeah.
It's almost like it wasn't really that big a deal.
It was
in the end. Anyway.
I had forgotten, but, you know, there's some anniversaries which I do forget, you know, and that's one of them, basically. I'm not good on anniversaries. Also, sometimes I'm not always sure when the anniversaries originally occurred, by which I mean the original incident. But Duncan the Singer is here. I feel as though one of you is going to pop behind that screen and do a sexy silhouette dance for us. I feel that's going to be me. Without a shadow, I would enjoy doing that. I think. A bit Bond-esque. I was thinking like
a bit Bondage. I mean, they look like Japanese kind of ninja fans. You know, like in ninja movies, they do the cut scene where it's like, and the fight begins, and then they pop behind the screens and shadows fly out.
Yeah, and it all comes out, and then blood splatters on the whole thing. A very good bit Kill Bill as well in that regard.
Yes, well, that's what it was based on in Kill Bill. Was the genre.
Right. We felt it wouldn't be worth celebrating. Very good there. Nice. I like it.
Give that motherfucker.
But if we do want to talk, I mean, it's a year on.
It is a year and 2 weeks, I would like to say.
Right. Well, you should say it, and you did. How do you feel looking back? You've got the shed now. It's been a year. Do you bear them any ill will now still?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Still as much.
Fuck Shed Store.
Am I right in saying, Jeremy, you bear them as much ill will today as you ever did?
Not as I ever did. They were fine up until the point they tried to not deliver me a shed.
So what you're telling me is your ill will was 0, and then you ordered it,
and then it was 100.
Well, it was and then they had not fucked it up, and then they fucked it up, and then it was 100, and it has existed at 100 from that point.
Correct.
It has never diminished.
It will never diminish.
It's unbelievable. That's good. This is how I feel about Decathlon.
Except you keep going there.
Yeah.
I will never shop at Shed Store again.
I know.
You keep going to Decathlon.
Do you know?
I'd grant you 97, but it's definitely not 100.
I'll take that. The thing about that I hate about Decathlon is their online service. Their in-store service is wonderful. They're all lovely there. I find it very hard to hate people who are so helpful. They're all, to a man and woman, very helpful in the Decathlon stores.
I can train you in the ways of hating people.
Rising up, back on the street, there'll just be a kind of montage of you going, and me saying, I think I quite like them, and you're like,
look at this cunt smiley face. Look at it!
I hate them so much! That's exactly what it'd be like. Yeah. Decathlon still has the good shit. Whoa, mama! Yeah, they do. They have the best. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times at Decathlon. They've got the blurst of camp chairs and everything. Oh, so much fun. So much fun it is in Decathlon.
And many more.
And many more. He's only been to Decathlon 10 times. That is the best amount of times to go. You know, they should have a Decathlon stamp, you know, like a loyalty card with 10 slots in it, you know. And it should be written in what?
Roman
Greek?
numerals?
I can't remember what it is.
It's Deca Greek, or is it?
Is it Greek? I think it's Greek.
It is Greek, yes.
And then get to 10, and it'd be like decathlon, and I'm like, this was a really contrived and tedious joke.
Deck of Anton Deck just pops out and goes, whatever.
Well done, you've won a lamp.
Yeah.
They should be like deck the halls with boughs of holly, and it would say that. I reckon that. I don't know if they've done that, but when it gets to Christmas time in Decathlon, it should just be like deck the halls, and it should be like DEC. And
sounds hugely contrived.
I
am fully on board.
I like a hugely contrived thing. Nice of Winnie the Pooh to join you.
Creepy Pooh.
Hello, Pooh. You go behind my head.
Hello, Joe.
Not nice to give Alex a nickname. Winnie the Pooh. I'm wearing more clothes than Winnie the Pooh likes to wear.
Only because you're on camera.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have a table in front of you.
Oh, yeah. At home, I like to take my clothes off, Jeremy.
We know full well what is not on underneath the table for a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Oh, yes. You know full well. His premature ejaculation. Perhaps we should get onto the segment. Nah. I feel I'm in a good...
Nah, fuck him.
Pre-section.
I know there's a nap coming up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. We'll get to that, Duncan.
That's one of my naps. It's not really, though, because we have methods.
Of previous conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yes, it's time once again, obviously, for Don't Get Me Started. I'm very pleased we're doing this. Some miscreant, some ne'er-do-well, some may call him a cunt.
I definitely would.
Yeah, keeps going on about how...
3 times, maybe.
Once, twice, 3 times a cunt. Keeps saying things about how we don't Get Me Started. And it just isn't true. It just isn't true.
We missed, what, 2?
Yeah, 2. 2 of the, potentially 70 it would have been.
Yeah.
When you divide 68 by 70, what do you get? Somebody work it out.
And especially considering he was the one that was giving us a hard time for our anniversary show, also coinciding with 50 episodes. So at that point, we'd only missed 2 then as well.
I don't know why we listen to Harmstone.
Oh, I mean, I don't. Let's get that right. I do not listen to him.
Sometimes I feel it's impossible not to listen to him.
And there is that.
He's there in my head. I don't know if you've ever played the Ocarina of Time, Jeremy. Have you ever played
have observed the Ocarina of Time.
There's a character in Ocarina of Time who's this little spirit sprite thing that wanders around Link's head, who I think is called Siri, actually. And it just wanders around his head and gets in his way, and he goes, "Hey, listen," and just tells Link shit. And you're like, oh, and you sometimes especially when it's on the N64.
Apparently it's Navi.
Oh, Navi.
And
it's Navi. And it's just like, Navi just helps you. Hey, Link. And I didn't mean to press the button, Navi. Shut up, Navi. Fuck off, Navi. So, yeah, I kind of feel that Harmstone is Navi.
Is Navi more helpful than Sparks, the little dragonfly that follows Spyro around?
Well, I have to say, I don't really know how helpful Sparks is, but I suppose that I suspect they're probably as similarly helpful.
Pretty much all Sparks does is when you push a button, he points his head in the direction of gems that you've forgotten to pick up.
Oh, that's quite useful.
So that is fairly helpful.
Navi has no use apart from popping up when you accidentally press the wrong button.
Navi is way better informed than Harmstone. Navi would have smashed Paul Sinner.
Yeah, I feel that Navi would have been better at the chase.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not a high bar here, if we're completely honest about it.
He would have done a better cash builder as well.
Yes. Yeah.
He would have got more money out of Sinner.
Double figures.
Mm-hmm.
No issue.
Yeah.
Navi is less annoying in the reboots. Right, well, when do we get a reboot? How long has it been?
Yeah.
And
when do we reboot? Don't Get Me Started. Don't Get Me Started, number 1.
I was just thinking rebooting Harmstone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where's the reset button on him? Where do you think his reset button is?
Probably in the same place as Data's.
up his... Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Which is a really shit place to put it, because somebody could easily punch you there for no particular reason.
I was thinking it would be amusing for Data's reset button to be up his bum. I think that would be hilarious, because he wouldn't understand the amusing innuendo aspect. I think Data
to make it even funnier to have it not be permeable as a bumhole.
Yes,
the butt cheeks are velcroed together.
Geordie, what are you doing? I'm just resetting you, Data. Just gotta reset you.
that guy in Today I Fucked Up was right.
You need to reset me once a day, it seems, Geordie. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
This took a turn.
Shall we go into the first segment?
We should, before we talk any more about the sexual harassment of Lieutenant Commander Data.
Let's go into this first segment that we like to call This Is Happening.
In a world filled with haps and naps, two men have risen above to bring you This Is Happening.
I suppose that does segue us quite nicely into the premature ehapulation and inoculation of Duncan, because it is most definitely my hap and nap that Star Trek Discovery Season 4 begins this week.
Can't wait.
This week, next week,
yes.
Sometime now.
Soon.
And was very excited about it.
Yes. Until you learned
that it's not on Netflix in the UK anymore.
Netflix.
And we're not able to watch it until they launch Paramount Plus here in March.
It is total shit. Although I saw the advert for it and it does look really cool.
What, Paramount Plus?
No, just
Discovery.
Just Discovery, yeah. It just looked really rocking and cool. Still
watched it though. Oh, is it already been on? Okay, it started today apparently.
Oh, has he watched it? How's he watched it? Does he know the magic too?
Probably.
How have you worked this out, Duncan?
I did teach him well.
Oh yeah.
I said some words at him, and then he was like, "Right, I'll go and research it myself."
Well, I want to know. I want to know. I want to see it. It was Reese's birthday. So
I want to say Wednesday.
I want to say Thursday.
I want to say not today.
I mean, I don't want to dwell on it. I don't care about the guy that much. But I mean, a happy birthday nonetheless, and a good happy birthday.
A day came. He got a bit older.
Stream.
Life went on.
Life moved relentlessly towards the grave. Yes.
Yeah. I did try to tune into his birthday stream on Saturday night, but I don't know whether it was Twitch or whether it was the internet in the hotel that I was in, but I could not stay connected, and buffery drunken dickheads is not as fun as not buffery drunken dickheads. So I abandoned ship.
Was Harmstone on there as well?
He was.
Was he getting drunk? I wouldn't have thought so.
No, he was not.
That's a pity. I think I'd like to see drunk Navi at some point. I'd be just wobbling around the place from left to right with this kind of spiritual way. But yes, no, that is good. So this is the bit of the segment where we talk about things that are good and things that are bad, things that are hap and things like that. Feel free to use the haps and naps channel point redemptions in order to do that.
That I don't bother turning off because I'm a lazy motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't turn them off the other day and somebody used it on my stream and it was kind of fun. Yeah. Yep. It's nice to have haps. Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk about our haps and naps.
Go for it.
Have you got any haps? Other than, Discovery, obviously.
It's definitely hap, yeah. The other hap, also TV related, it took me 2 years on and off, but I finally finished Law and Order this week.
Law and Order. And how was it? Did it end with a massive kind of crescendo and like, well, we've stopped all the criminality.
All of the law has been solved. Every criminal is locked up.
All our ducks are in a row.
We can rest easy knowing that New York is safe forevermore.
That would be amazing.
No, it did not. And it was a very nice ending. You know how I fucking hate an ending because most of them are shit.
I do know that.
But this was a good ending in that you couldn't really end it. It had to be kind of just
bittersweet.
The end of a chapter rather than an end. And it was nice. It was a nice finish. It wrapped up some other stories. Had a couple of cameos in the last series of previous
guys,
men, and things.
Yeah. And did they end in a kind of way that, like, they're like, well, did one of them
say now? Go on.
I just want to see whether they retired a characters, like, and one guy's retiring, and they're saying, and he does one last case, and they do something like that.
I think they might have done that. Were it not for the fact that what's his face who played Lenny Briscoe had already died before the show ended.
That's a pity.
Because I think they would have brought him back. He was the longest, or one of at least the longest serving
Laura's.
Yeah, or orderers
rather
in the show.
Yeah, as they call them.
Yeah. But they referred to him a few times in the last season, and they brought back one of his partners for an episode. That was cool. And it's a good job they didn't properly end it, because as it turns out, announced earlier this month, they're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back. It's coming back.
I'm not actually finished with Law and Order.
No.
It'll be back in 2022.
You're never really finished with these shows. It's like I was saying about Grey's Anatomy. It's like some shows have got like 20 seasons or whatever, and you're just never finishing that season. I mean, I understand how you can just really sit and watch some of these things that amount of time, basically, you know.
As I said, it took me 2 years.
More and Order.
That's why she's here.
Yeah, I know, right? That's exactly it. It's coming your way. More and Order.
And if that isn't enough, there are 67 spin-offs as well, like Special Victims Unit. And
really, there's other shit.
There's fucking
it's like all
loads
these
of them.
NCISs, and like when I'm watching NFL, between the NFL, it's like this week on Shit's on Fire. Some shit was on fire on Los Angeles, and then like it'll be like Rob Lowe going all kind of sexy, but he's burnt. Like when people get burnt, they don't look sexy, but like Rob Lowe looks even sexier, and he's like all burnt, and his fireman's helmet is
slightly askew, and there's a bead of sweat coming down his face.
Blood, and he's like, God damn it.
There is some heat here.
Yeah, he's like, what are we going to do, Rob Lowe's character? And he's like, I guess we better get the water out. And then they just go and do this thing. It's like, Fireman LA, Fireman Sacramento.
The sad thing is, I know the name of the show that you're referring to.
By the way, I think I would like to watch some of these shows, because they all look kind of fun.
I mean, they're imminently piss-takeable, so it's worth watching just for that. You've done it without even watching it, so imagine if you actually had some content or context to work with.
It's all just called 911. It's an emergency. What I want is an episode of 911 where, like, it's someone just who...
Hello! My cat's stuck in a tree!
It's like, I'm really pissed off with my next-door neighbour. She just keeps playing Dupe on repeat. It's like this... This is not a 911 emergency. Just go around and talk to her. It's like, you're plugging up the line.
Yeah, could you send the fire brigade or whatever they call it in America? Oh wait, it's not my cat.
No, it's okay. False alarm.
It's just a massive twig.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It looks like a twig. Sorry, I won't call you again. 911. What's your emergency? I don't actually think the person on the phone actually says that. I'm sure they're lovely, but you know. So there's all of those. There's all the NCIS, all the CIS, I would presume. There's Bones. There's all kind of investigative thing.
There was no spin-off of Bones, actually.
There should be. Bones 2. Boner.
Muscles. Cartilage.
Yeah, like they just build the body up. 911. Somebody broke my bin. I almost saw the bin men the other day. Because I went down.
We must be nearing the 1 year anniversary of the original Binformation.
Maybe
actually.
I found all that stuff.
Or at least the council thing. It was around the same time as Shedstall.
No, I had to bring out my recycling bins, and somebody in my house has bought.
You had to do it yourself.
Yeah.
What was it? Margaret's Day Off or something?
Yeah. I did shout for her, but she didn't respond so well, so I had to go down. And some people who have been to Borton Towers will know how far down you have to go. And I went all the way down. And somebody else who lives in the slums around the lower area of the towers had decided to throw out some boxes of their own. But instead of like collapsing the boxes or cutting them up or like taking a knife to them, they'd just taken whatever object was in the box out of it and used it in their home, and then just left the box outside.
Yeah, people do that.
And I'm like... The guy's coming up the street, and I'm like, well, I'll drag it out for them. I'll be a nice person. And I'm like, but they're not going to want to take that because it's all still in its... So I cut it up, and I kind of ripped it to pieces and folded it up into a foldable chunk. But I'm like, well, if I hadn't have done that, all that would have happened, it would have sat around until it kind of got rained on and got all fucked up. And oh, my God. So,
for reference, they do take rained, fucked up cardboard.
Oh, thank God for that. If anything, that's easier because it's all mushy.
Yeah.
Hello, Graham's Miss Ice Lady. Welcome in.
Welcome. How you doing?
We're talking about haps and naps and goods and bad. I'll tell you what, one of my haps, of course, is the fact that in 2 weeks' time I'm getting back to do some stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Talk about this at the Louis Armstrong at 8 o'clock. That's the 2nd of December. That's the Thursday, which means I have to write a lot of stuff. And one of my haps is that while I've been writing stuff based on this stuff I'd already done, more jokes are coming out. More jokes are pouring out of my joke brain.
Good.
Jeremy?
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do more than one because I've just now, as you said that date, realised That is literally the only Thursday in the near future that I would not be able to go and
there will be
do
more.
it. So
there'll be more, and I will need to keep doing it and do it again because I need to kind of work out the whole show.
Finesse it and time it out.
And
all that other stand-up-y shit.
It's only 10 minutes of a 50-minute show, so it's 1/5 of the entire show, and I haven't written the other 4/5.
Someone check his maths. I'm not sure I believe him.
Of the show has not been completed. So, what I was pleased about is that I have this thing written out, much like on these pieces of paper. I have it all written down. And I was reading through it, and I was like, I can say that differently. I can say this differently. That's a funnier bit. Oh, that's quite a good line. And so suddenly out of it came, I don't know, half a dozen better ways of saying
I mean, if you've
shit.
only prepared some of that 50-minute routine, surely that's useful. You're only doing 10 minutes because that's the sum.
Yes.
Sum of 50 minutes.
Yes.
It's probably 10 minutes.
Yes.
So perfect.
It's
Don't
perfect.
know what you're complaining about.
Next bit will be, so you probably will get to see it, but then I'm going to have to write another bunch of other stuff. That
40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, do you know?
Your problem.
Do you know that in order to qualify for the best newcomer at Edinburgh, because it's going to be put on at Edinburgh, you have to do 50 minutes. So
you have to do 50.
50 is the tipping point. If you do less, you are not qualified to be a best newcomer.
Okay.
So one way of avoiding that, if you are new to it, is to not.
Okay. So if you want to kind of save it until you're more experienced,
you got it. Yeah. You just do 45 minutes, and
but
then
you're just going to go straight in there and win best newcomer.
I would love if I felt it was good enough. I'll just talk slowly at the end. Just like, wait, this shit's good. You might win. I'll talk slower.
I've got someone in the back going.
Keep it going. Anyway, it's been really great to see you guys. I don't know. I think I'll know way before that, but also I think you have to put it on for like a certain amount of a run of like at least 8 or 9 days, and I probably won't have to. I probably won't have enough. I probably won't satisfy that criteria anyway. So, criterion, sorry. First time Alex has ever been considered a newcomer.
It's an old joke.
It is. It is an old joke.
He does those.
He does. I've noticed he does them quite a lot. The old ones are the best ones, people say, but in the case of Harmstone, not so much. So that's good. I'm pleased about that. I'm pleased to be getting back to it. It does mean that the stream might, I don't know, things might have to move around, but it would be nice to have like a hybrid thing of just comedy and stream. It would be nice to kind of do.
Harmstone's going to be relentless if you miss even a single show.
I know, right? But I'm telling him now.
Pre-warning him. There will be missed shows.
I will be at the Louis. Will you? Well, he will. I will. We all will. Well, you won't, but there'll be other times. With any luck, there'll be other times. Tim. My friend Tim is also going to be there.
Cool.
He's giving me a lift. And so like he said, I went there and someone bought me a drink. He said, do you want me to drive you to the gig? And I went, yes. If people are handing out drinks left, right and centre, you better believe I don't want to drive. So he's going to drive me there. And if someone says, can I get you a red wine, Alex? I'll be like, yes, you can. So there you go. So that's my hat.
Yeah, I'll be there going boo, says Duncan.
I was saying boo words.
I was saying boo-ish.
Booey Armstrong. Yes, so I don't think I've got any more. What bad thing has happened this week? I can't think of anything nap.
My nap, and I have mentioned this on streams all week because it's been a thing all week. I'm just relentlessly tired at the moment.
Yeah.
I've just got no energy whatsoever.
No energy.
Even now I can feel myself.
Have some rum there.
Okay. That'll help, I'm sure. Alcohol is not a depressant, so we're good, right?
No, we're fine. It boosts you. This is why I want to do a pre-show thing where we kind of like, sometimes when I'm doing my stuff at home, I dance around to Can't Fight the Moonlight by Leanne Rimes.
It's a good tune.
In the 15 minutes leading up when I'm getting into it, I'm just like, can't fight the moonlight. And I'm just dancing around in my flat. And then when I come on stream, I just go, bam! And and that's what we could have done. We could do that before Don't Get Me Started. Me and you could just do a kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is only one problem with that. We don't have a bar, and if I'm gonna do Don't Stop the Moonlight, I'm gonna have to be on a bar pouring alcohol on myself.
I want that too.
In some kind of crop
I want that so much. I want us both on a bar dancing in Coyote Ugly fashion. Yeah.
God, that was a good film.
Yeah.
I mean, not objectively good.
No.
But observably good.
Observably. I observed the goodness in it.
Yes.
And the song's good. But like the plot of that
for
film,
at least a minute until something happened
for a hot minute,
and I needed to turn it off then afterwards because the work was done.
the work. That's what we're calling it now. It's almost that word. There's a Coyote Ugly bar in Manchester.
There's a Coyote Ugly bar in Cardiff as well.
I mean, maybe we should have one in Folkestone.
I think you went to the Coyote Ugly bar in Cardiff because the girls went there on Stag/Hen.
Oh,
so you probably
I might have been brought along.
It.
Forgot what happened after that. Shall we move on? Because I feel we've happed and napped enough.
Yeah, why not?
That's right. Move right along.
Yeah. Moving on, Rover. Okay.
Now.
I think we should go here.
Yes, I agree.
Let's do that then.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce it?
I love to introduce things.
Okay, go forth and introduce.
I will. I don't know what's going to happen in this segment because you've got some bits and pieces. I hope they're good. No. The very best of the internet we found in the segment we call Going Viral.
Right, he wanted good, so I guess I'll discard some of this shit.
I think. Have you extended the time on that sting because it did feel a bit more blappy and meatery?
I have not. It's just the Stockholm syndrome of
just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah. Right. So let's first drop into this scene. Good. I have turned everything off. That would have been a spoiler waiting to happen. So. I felt like it has been a while since we have done something food related on this show. And you know that we like to trigger people with food.
I absolutely do know that, yes.
Yeah. You especially.
Oh, yes, I feel I do get triggered.
I mean, you're pretty good at the triggering.
Yes.
I will say.
Oh, yes.
But I have found somebody who may rival you. And this person not only triggered their little circle, but they took it to TikTok and they triggered a whole load of people.
I see. So, yes, you're referring in many respects to the fact that I like to eat fucking crazy shit and it disgusts people.
Yes.
You're saying that people have gone...
There are other people that do it.
Oh,
you're not unique in that regard.
Don't tell me things like that.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I'm trying to find another way of telling him he's not unique.
I understood it the first time.
You're not special. So I think I'll just play the clip.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody's TikTok. And then first I will let everybody else kind of react, observe, give their thoughts. And then we'll see some pre-recorded... I can't use words, just shut up and press the button.
Do it.
Chip contains tons of sugar and lots of red dyes, so I always put water in mine so you get double the health for half the price.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So, yes, in case you missed that.
Play it again.
This is a woman who is kind of down on ketchup. Feels that the health benefits are not there, and so to continue enjoying the ketchup, waters it down. Yeah, here it is again.
Water her down.
Oh, fuck you then. Off and on.
Chip contains tons of sugar and lots of red dyes, so I always put water in mine so you get double the health for half the price.
Double the health? Did she say?
Double the health. Okay, humanity.
It's not about making the fries red. Yeah, it's not dyeing them. She's trolling, right? Please tell me she is. I hope she's trolling. Okay, humanity.
That may be the case. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Welcome, Nova.
Welcome in.
Digging the animated emote there. Ahead of the curve as usual. Well done.
And Future Wolfington's here.
Oh, hello, Wolfie. Wolf. Oh, woo! Has it been made clear on your stream yesterday that Future Wolfington is joining the Primetime Stream Network?
It has been made clear, and I said it with my mouth. I didn't know if there'd been an official announcement.
There's not been an official announcement in terms of type things.
No.
But I asked him, and he accepted.
Right.
And that's pretty much as it gets.
So he's part of it now. He's part of the gang.
Yeah, he's the gang.
Gang's all here.
He's part of the pack, if you will.
I love it. Well, welcome in, Future, and I'm very glad you're part of the team.
Now back to the abhorrent bullshit.
Yes.
So, this person, much like you, is slightly notorious for doing this kind of thing. If you want to go and tell them they're a prick, they're at Sensational Foodie on TikTok. Previous videos show the vlogger dipping giant Wotsits into whipped cream.
Ah! Amazing.
That sounds more your pace.
That sounds cool.
And microwaving a beverage that she describes as the perfect British cup of tea, made up of mainly milk and sugar.
That's so brilliant. That's such a troll.
I think she is trolling.
I know she's trolling.
She must be trolling.
I know. I kind of got it from the first one, but I
Like, this is pretty much like Mario territory, isn't it?
Oh, yes, certainly. Oh, for real.
You take something that doesn't need to be fucked with.
Yes.
And you fuck it up.
And then you fuck with it.
And then you wait for the hate to come.
Mm.
Some comments. One commenter was so outraged that they genuinely threatened to call 999.
911, what's your emergency? Fucking Wotsits, mate. And cream.
Another person begged, please tell me this is some kind of joke. Why not just dip chips in your water?
Why don't you just run them under the fucking tap, you
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Another wrote, what the actual duck? I don't know why they censored themselves. If you're going to do that, then at least make it a vodka for a Bloody Mary dip.
Mm.
Would it be a Bloody Mary, though? Yeah, I suppose it would.
It would need Tabasco, I think.
Hey, we're onto something here.
Mm-hmm.
Chips in a Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah. That would... Yeah.
Crisps and whipped cream, though. Kind of down with that.
I'm fine with that. That would be... I think that would be quite easy to do. But that first one...
I mean, some people do dip their, especially McDonald's fries, into milkshakes.
It has been known. It has been known.
Yeah.
Sounds like a trick talk.
See what you did there. Yeah.
So yes.
We're not on board with that then?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think anyone's a big fan of any part of this, really.
Okay. Right.
You're not going to show us it, are you? Do you have it? You just know that she does it, basically.
I just know that she does it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to show you anything.
I'm glad because, I don't think I'd take much more of that because I don't really... Oh, that watered down ketchup, though. Fucking horrible. Fucking horrible.
Now...
Yes.
It's very interesting that Harmston has dropped the word appendages into the chat there. It kind of works for our second going viral.
Okay.
Slightly long article/preamble going into this before I show you the image that goes with it.
Okay.
This is an actual article in an actual newspaper.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you can use the term newspaper loosely because it's the British press, but still. Mum left red-faced after finding 2 frozen turkey dinosaurs in intimate act. A mum was left red-faced, yeah, you said that in the headline, great writing, after finding 2 frozen turkey dinosaurs locked in an intimate act, and her children immediately asked what they were doing. Elise McKenna, 31, was making dinner for her 2 kids, Preston, with a Y, getting that out there without comment, and 5-year-old Ridley, when her partner, Lee, fished the Bernard Matthews turkey dinosaurs out of the freezer. She said that 2 of them were locked in a passionate embrace and appeared to be having sex, and her 2 kids soon asked what the dinos were doing.
Trying not to be extinct.
Elise told her kids that the dinosaurs were just cuddling together to keep warm, and laughed off the potentially embarrassing incident. The mum from Bidford, Devon, might be Bideford.
I think it might be Bideford, yeah.
Bideford, where all the biddies live, said, "It looks like they're having sex. When I saw them, I had a bit of a giggle. I thought it was quite funny.
I think it's funny.
I thought maybe they're keeping warm." Again, you mentioned that. I said to my eldest, who was Tristan with a Y if we're keeping score, maybe they only put the 2 dinosaurs in there and that's how the rest of them turn up in the bag.
That's enjoyable, I like that.
My partner is quite deadpan, so he just came over and said, "Look at this," and said no more about it. I said, "Quick, grab a picture. We might be able to give people a giggle." I love that this has turned into a stream of consciousness reconstruction of,
I like it.
Of the discovery of the dinosaurs in Embrace. Sadly, it wasn't a romance for the ages, as the pair ended up being cooked and eaten.
They said they were trying to warm up. I'm like, they're going to warm up in the oven in about 10 minutes' time.
I might check the rest of the bag, but there are no more dinosaurs having fun in there.
I mean, what were the kids going to be? How were the kids asking these questions? I don't understand. Why were they're children?
Look, these dinosaurs are stuck together.
Are stuck to it. No kid would be like that because they don't know what sex is.
Yeah. So I think we can reveal the dinosaurs now.
Thank God for that. I want to see this. And as Tam Sanaki says, Tyrannosaurus sex.
Sorry, the dinosaur where? Oh, they're fucking...
It's the first dinosaur on the left, the center, and the one behind is the quarterback, and is kind of like in a
down
a shotgun kind of.
Omaha.
Omaha.
Stop. Yeah. He's got a good grip on the center's balls there.
I love that so much. I think that's really good.
But wait, there's more. They obviously took this to the internet. That's how it went viral, with clues in the name of the segment.
Yeah.
It racked up on Facebook 7,500 likes and comments. One wrote, "Well, how else did everyone think turkey dinosaurs were made? Chortle, chortle, chortle."
Hardy ha ha.
Another commented, "Well, if someone put me in a freezer, I'd be doing whatever I could to keep warm too."
Man.
And here's the best line of the whole thing. The closing gambit of this whole article. Bernard Matthews have been contacted for comment.
If he doesn't say "beautiful," I don't know. I mean, that's his only phrase, right? But
beautiful.
That's why they died out. Yeah, why did they die out? Because they did not know how to have sex. These poor dinosaurs. I mean, they had to have sex like that because their arms are too short to kind of wank themselves off. Presumably,
it's true. Yeah. There's no masturbation in the dinosaur community, or at least in the T-Rex community.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, it struck me as I was saying it, but I'm glad you got in there. Yeah, there you go, little arms. Everyone sends. Oh, I love it.
Do they bite during? Well, only once probably.
Yeah,
you can go a bit wrong.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that sort of shit. A little bit of biting's all right, but not too much. And if you're a Tyrannosaurus Rex, there probably is you're either biting or not biting.
This is something they didn't cover in Jurassic Park for some reason.
It was probably cut. Maybe it's in the director's cut that explains that sort of shit. It's like nature finds a way.
On NGNP, which is Wolfington's other
new
live
game
show,
not played,
we made a game called Tiny Arms, Big Mouth. It was about T-Rexes giving blowjobs.
And there was me thinking bag of butts was bad. I like it.
It does sound like an imminently Captain Brilliant game.
Tiny arms, big mouth.
Market it immediately. Jurassic Pork. Okay.
Boom.
Hit the button. Stream's over.
Thanks very much. Fuck shit stop. I would enjoy eating those. I think that would be fun to be like, who's the one that gets to eat the double one with them having sex? Who can say they've eaten dinosaurs having sex? Not that many.
But
people.
Here's the $1 million question. You've got your fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Do you dip them in watered down ketchup or Mayorio?
Mayorio. No wonder the happy faces are happy. They're in the freezer as well. Watching these guys.
They've got a live show. It's like a little peep show in the freezer. A Sub-Zero peep show.
Yeah. Get over here.
If the sex is getting boring, Triassic. Right, here's the spice of life.
I really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
I thought they were both really excellent. And
I Googled it myself.
Congratulations. No, it's good. I'm surprised that hasn't happened before.
It probably has, but must have been in the we take photos of bullshit stuff and put it on the internet years.
I was reading Take a Break one time, and there was a story which, I don't know how they managed to make it into a story, but it's about these women at work who'd had some crisps, and it was Walker's crisps advertised by Gary Lineker, and one of the crisps that she was about to eat had looked like Gary Lineker. So she had a crisp that looked like Gary, and big fucking crisp ears.
That was a competition. If Walker's
really?
had a competition, if you found the Gary Lineker crisp, then you would win like £1 million or something.
That was actually a thing. I think they were
like,
like, "Don't eat that crisp."
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm just eating." I mean, that sounds like a thing.
And that's why, because she just ate £1 million, basically.
Yeah. Has the psychic horse got back to us? I haven't actually contacted them yet because I realised if I need to contact them, I need to pretend to be you. So what happens is, and you know about this Texas psychic horse,
yes,
right?
Yes,
so
yes. I thoroughly enjoy that Take a Break has become part of your
I really want to use more Take a Break. I should have done some more. But in order to send a thing into Texas, the psychic horse, you have to send a picture of you and your pet. So I would obviously be pretending to be Harmstone and have the pet. And you have to send your number in. So I have to send my number in. And they call you back, presumably, and say, "Hi, are you Alex? And is that your dog?" And I'd be like, "Yes." But the thing is, I have a deep and manly voice, and the picture of Mike Harmstone
it does not reflect your voice at all. Yeah,
my baritone.
Yeah.
So
sorry,
I
think I've got the wrong number.
So so when she rings me up to ask me about it, she'd be like, "You're clearly not the person in the picture." So
I was expecting to speak to someone who sounds like a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, right. So I'd have to put on a little voice going, "Yes, this is my dog.
My dog.
I love him very much, but I need Texas to answer me a question." Something like that. So the reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm uncertain how
You haven't got the voice down yet.
No.
You needs more practice.
So I'm a bit uncertain about how I'm going to manage that. So I might have to put my own face over the top of Harmstone's face. With the same dog. The dog's fine. The dog can stay there.
Have you got the baritone of the dog down?
Yeah, I can do a dog voice. That's not a problem. I don't know they're going to call upon to ask the dog to speak on the phone.
Just in case, give us a few bars.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Well, what was the dog? It's all about like, it was all about wanting to. Am I a vegan? So it's like, "Oh, well, I like eating not meat." That's how he talks, basically. Yeah, that's because it's all about, is my dog really vegan? So I think I can do.
Oh yeah,
vegan.
nice.
Dogzilla was Dogzilla. Dogzilla was the name. So I can do the dog voice. I don't have a problem with that. I can do my own voice.
Can you?
It's Harmstead. I can.
Let's add some practice in that regard.
Dogzilla is his name. Dogzilla. Yeah. So I do still want to send that off, but I've still got what Tamsin wrote about it as well. The best.
I mean, it's a recurring thing, isn't it? It's not like you're going to miss the boat.
The problem, it won't.
Texas the Psychic Horse isn't going anywhere.
No. For those people who don't know.
Breaking news: Texas the Psychic Horse was hit by a truck. Segment over.
They'll just come out with another one. It'll be just like Billy the Psychic Owl. Who's like, "Hoot hoot! What's going on?"
Oklahoma, the psychic crocodile.
Do you know what I mean? That poor woman or whatever her name is, like Helen, who's the horse whisperer, is gonna be like, "Shit, I am out on my ear if this fucking horse dies."
Sorry, Helen, your services are no longer required. We were really in it for Texas.
Are we getting some HBort's horse-to-horse submissions in too? Yeah, I mean, I guess we could get. I mean, we could do it as many times as we want, except the problem is it's going to be in my telephone number every time. But we could all do it.
Get a burner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could just get
a
burner phone and have put in different people's voices all the time.
Yeah.
You can't feel sorry for her. She's a bullshit artist.
Yeah, but she's very good at it.
No, it's amazing.
You got to admire the dedication to the bullshittery.
The thing about this,
of the situation.
If this were real, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like in Viz, they make real money out of bullshit shit, but they've managed to make this so meta, so perfect that she's like, of course the horse isn't really psychic, but the fact that everyone loves it, how is it not making money? How is it not it's a form of entertainment as much as anything else, I guess.
Yes.
Is what I mean.
Yeah. As we were discussing earlier, as you arrived while I was watching Survivor, they got on a winning formula at some point where they realised that the money was to be made from average fucking Joes doing bullshit things.
Yeah, exactly.
That they don't really have to pay them for.
So just to give you an update, if you need to know what this is, it's in a little stupid magazine that I bought when I went to Essen to pass the time for the guys in the car. And Texas is a psychic horse that answers questions psychically about your pets. So you write in to say, "My cat's got bad knees and I'm a bit worried about the cat. Can you ask Texas to ask psychically my cat?" So then you basically ask the woman.
Oh, so it's not dead animals then?
No, it can be dead animals, but it can also be alive animals.
Right.
They do not have to be dead animals.
Adding to the credibility here,
The
obviously.
Texas the Psychic Horse will contact your pet alive or dead, or in the words of Bon Jovi, dead or alive. So, bow, 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 and they'll just kind of...
Speaking of Bon Jovi. We haven't heard from Karis in a while. Do you think she's fallen asleep on the kitchen table?
We'll find out.
Karis! Bon Jovi! Yep, she's asleep.
She's asleep.
Yeah.
So, with that regard, that's how it works. So if you can write in, we're going to write in with a pet, and then they get my number, and then they ring me up and ask me what I want to talk about. The thing is, why do they want my number? Do they want to call me to verify whether I'm a wanker or not? I mean,
probably to get more information, to get further details.
The thing will be just like
ask probing journalistic questions. This is a serious fucking article.
Take a break, man.
You know,
but like, okay, listen. And what was the plot of it? It was basically I was dog sitting for my friend, and the dog has told it was. They told me the dog was vegan, but it turned out that it ate meat while I was there, and so I don't know whether it's vegan or not. Really, I think is the thing we're going to do.
I think that's a good one.
Live production meeting concluded. Yes.
Isn't that the ITA that we had a few weeks ago, where the kid was sneaking meat on the side from his parents who were trying to make him a vegan?
I don't remember. Oh yeah. I think that's right. Yeah. Oh, we don't. I see what you're saying. We don't tell him
all right, Wolfie. Fine.
What's been submitted. So what happens is they're going to send some stuff in, and then I have to blag it. Basically, I get that.
We've run out of room in the glass now.
Come on, Jess, just finish the fucking bottle. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I was demonstrating my perfect pouring, okay? I can pour a perfect shot.
You could submit it and say you were dog sitting for your nephew, played by me, and he told you it was vegan. That would work.
Yes.
Yeah, that would work.
Yes, and then give them Harmstone's number
anyway.
So that you don't have to deal with it.
Sneaking Meat, my vegan erotica novel. Anyway, well, they were very enjoyable. Virals.
Yes, and that was a very enjoyable digression.
Yes.
We like a good digression.
We do.
But what direction would we like to move in now?
Well, I think we should play the sting again so that they can hear it go squelch.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about vegans, and we need to remind people that we are not vegans, with the meaty sound of the sting for going viral.
Or your great-grandson. Tamsin's joining in.
Burn.
That's a sick burn for someone that's older than me. But, you know, hey, you take your shots.
Mm-hmm. And they stick pretty well.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Team Harmstone. Oh, don't you stop.
She has been on Team Harmstone.
What is going on with Tamsin?
Yeah.
I thought
she actually defended him on the Discord this week. I'm like, this is weird. I'm not sure I like this.
I suspect, Jeremy, it's months of me telling her that she eats stupid shit. Yeah. I think it may eventually. She has turned away from me. I think that's what's occurred. Team Zinaki. We're all on Team Zinaki.
We are.
Yeah. Do you know the bit I think we should go to now, because I'm quite interested in reading one of these things out, is I think we should do the Law and Order inspired section, because I enjoy that. And you've got one as well, right?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Okay. So we'll move on swiftly into the fairly new segment that we call Today I Fucked Up.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
I really like that. Yeah, fuck you, Alex. Yeah. Oh God. Kind of. I fucked up. Clearly, I've angered the gods of Tamsinaki. You know.
I'm eating nuts and chocolate, giggity. By the way, with a side order of Jack Daniels. Hey, there you go.
Well, I like all those things. I like nuts in chocolate, and I like Jack Daniels.
Having run out of Jack Daniels to make New York Sours, I went with the Tennessee Honey Jack Daniels this time. I haven't then had a
New York Sour with that.
A New York Sour with it, because I keep buying lemons and then not having a New York Sour and letting the lemons go off and then not having lemons to do it. It's a vicious cycle.
Let them go off.
I'm like, I could really go for a New York Sour. Luckily, I've got... these are dust.
Do you like these nuts? I'll tell you what. When I was before I came here today, I was looking for the, that kind of pasta thing I like, which has got pine nuts in it or whatever it's got.
The things that you only now eat when Aletha's not
not here.
You don't want to kill her.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. So I'm like, as soon as Aletha's not there, I just like...
Give me all the nuts!
Give me the nuts in my mouth! Don't fucking clip that to say, give me the nuts in my mouth. But yes, Right, let's get right back onto track.
I'm going to do mine first.
Go for it. Do your thing.
Uh,
I'm going to have a glass of Pepsi.
Something. Yeah, do it. There you go.
Oh, thank you very
Have
much.
some little bit of Pepsi, and then have some little bit more of Pepsi,
Ah.
and then have something else.
So I can't take any hands any longer.
Today I fucked up. If you are new to the stream, which I don't think anyone is a segment in which we read out stories of people sharing the moments in which they have fucked something up, often to hilarious consequence. And the first example today is, today I fucked up by taking delivery for our neighbours. Don't do that. Thanks. So today, I was at home because I don't work on Wednesday. So it's not even today, it's Wednesday. I fucked up. Glad you can keep up with that. At 9 a.m, a delivery guy rings the door, and asks if we can take our neighbour's package, giggity, as they are not home, and I accept, as we are new in the neighbourhood, and that could create an opportunity to talk to some neighbours. At noon, the man comes back home, but I can't go and give him the package as I'm feeding my daughter. Half an hour later, the woman comes home too, and I rush outside to give her the package. The conversation goes something like this.
Here's your package.
Me. Hi. The delivery guy asked me to take the package as no one was home. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. But that's weird. My husband was home this morning. Me. I got the delivery at 9 a.m. this morning, and he said there was no one. He even tried to hide it behind the house, but it was raining and was afraid the package would get damaged. Then, during the afternoon, we heard them cry, and the man got kicked out of the house as he was carrying a luggage. From what we understood, he was cheating on her. TLDR, took delivery for our neighbours, told woman her husband wasn't home this morning, but he should have been. Turns out husband was cheating on her. Mic drop.
I love this so much, but like, what's the conversation that happens when they go home? It's like, I've just got this package, and the next door neighbours, who are lovely by the way, have decided to take it in because you couldn't take it in, but you were here, and he went...
Like, it's a very fucking simple answer. I was taking a shit.
Yeah, or I just went out. I needed some milk.
Yeah.
I needed, think brain, think, coffee. What don't we have? Doesn't matter. I left the house, and it must have come during that. But how did he manage to fuck that up so much? He went, oh...
I took daughter for a walk or something. Oh no, the daughter was his, not the neighbour's. Never mind.
How has he not come up with a plausible lie? Because if he's decided to cheat, he's got to cover these bases in his brain anyway.
Yeah.
Like, says, oh, this thing came and you weren't in. I thought you were in. Yeah, I was out. Why was that out? Went to the shops.
I mean, genuinely, the amount of times that I have sat down to take a lovely dump and then the doorbell rings with a delivery person. It happens all the fucking time.
Also, how many delivery people have we encountered who do not do their due diligence, as it were, I knew that was going to be a difficult sentence to say, who do not do their due diligence and just fucking go, reach for the bell to go ding dong and go, fuck it, just throw the fucking...
Just gently stroke the butt.
And then, sorry you weren't in. And I'm like, I was fucking in! Yeah. So, like, he could have played that card.
He could have.
Couldn't he?
He had so many options, whereas clearly his answer was, yeah, you caught me. I wasn't here.
Like, how has he broken down under that level of law and order, investigation, interrogation? How has he... I put it to you.
Hi, honey, I just picked up this package from the neighbour. It's really weird. It's like, okay, fine. I've been cheating on you.
Okay? You want to know? I did it. It's like, I just thought maybe you'd want to open it because, like, it's that thing we ordered and I thought it'd be fun if you did it, but okay, maybe you should get out with your luggage. But I just don't know.
Your A luggage.
Your A luggage. If I accidentally discover my neighbour cheating, I ain't doing shit about it. Too many guns in this country to be involved in that kind of shit, right? Drew diligence.
That's basically what I just did all over my shirt. I just drew diligence. All over my shirt.
All of them dump the parts on the porch and knock on my door as they are leaving. This is just like, this is so easy. He doesn't deserve to have a wife and cheat on her. If he can't lie.
Far too much action for somebody so fucking stupid.
Yes, that's exactly. Yes, that's what. Like, how is this happening? Boy, he must be pretty. He's got to be a sexy guy. He's got to look like Rob Lowe in a fireman's helmet, all covered in fire and smoke and shit. And that's what he must look like in order to be.
We've come full circle.
We've come full low. in order to be like so stupid that he could. I put it to you, husband, that you were not here. Why weren't you here? Yeah, I went around to my brother's. He needed me to put up a wardrobe. Right. Okay. Sure. Cool. Does it matter? It got delivered. Like, how easy would it?
Be a better husband. Also, be a better cheater. Just be better, right, Wolfie?
Yeah.
Right.
Either cheat well.
Commit to one of them.
Yeah. He's now not doing either. No. Well, he probably could still do the cheating.
He probably still do the cheat.
But now he doesn't. He's not cheating anymore.
Yeah. He's just fucking.
If I was his mistress, he would immediately get dumped on that side. On that side too, for being such a moron. It's like, oh god. Or on the garden path, I found a box of birthday flowers, clearly marked this way up, sitting upside down on the path. It's like
classic.
It would be so easy to say like, they never rang the door.
Yeah. Like, I did not hear a single fucking person.
No one called. And they'd be like they said they did. And it's
I was here all day. They did not ring the bell.
He wanted out. Has a date later that day. I think Grams Miss Ice has often cuts to it. And
she does cut through the
really
bullshit
very wise.
well.
I think he's just like, I've got my out now. Like, imagine if you wanted to... I mean, it'd be crazy, but he'd just be like, yeah, oh, that's weird. That's strange. I was in. She's like, you're... Like, I don't know if you ever played the video game L.A. Noire. But like in L.A. Noire, you have to investigate people, and they had this new technology, where the faces would look kind of suspicious. So when you were interrogating them, like, were you here that day? And then you had to tell if they were lying or not.
Like the TV show Lie to Me with Tim Roth.
I've never seen it, but I suspect it's a bit like that.
It's a great show. Basically, he gets people in a room and like questions them, and then just does like a zhoof in their face, and you see the little micro expression. It's like, yeah, that's. And in the Tim Rothy kind of way, in that kind of that really kind of
sardonic kind of
like, yeah, well, that's a lie, isn't it? It's a lie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lie,
it's
isn't
a lie.
You're not telling me the truth, are you?
You're lying to me right now.
Yeah,
you're lying.
Lie to me. Roll credits. But like, yeah, on L.A. Noire, they'd be like, were you home today, Mr. Smith? And he goes, yeah, I was home. Of course I was home. What are you talking about? I was never not home. I was here the whole time. And the face is kind of contorting, and you press triangle line. He's like, what are you talking about? Of course I was. So I can only presume that's what it was like. Fun fact, the French version is called La Noire. I had a friend of mine that thought the film L.A. Confidential was called
La Confidential.
La Confidentielle with Kevin Spacey and
that sounds
Guy
like
Pearce.
the kind of thing I would have thought as a child. I often fuck that kind
Have
of shit.
Have you seen La Confidentielle? I was in the whole time. The postie just fancies next door and tries to go over there all the time. Like anything. He could have.
Of course, honey, they'd be fucking.
So easy. That lie is so easy. Oh, it's not even hard. Oh my god. But anyway, really great. That guy did fuck up. That's a massive fuck up.
Well, the op did not fuck up. All he did was give his parcel to his neighbour.
No, but like the man.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's it. It's today I fucked up when I accidentally got this guy in trouble. But no, today they fucked up when they were fucking hopeless.
And they couldn't speak properly and make up a...
It's so
not
simple.
even a decent excuse, just an excuse.
Any excuse. I left the house. Really? Why? I can't tell you that. Oh, you got it out of me. I was getting a surprise for your birthday.
I was balls deep in your sister.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cheating rat bastard fucked up. It doesn't deserve to.
Tamsin cutting through the bullshit in a very different way to Grams Miss Ice, but still cutting through the bullshit.
I really enjoy this section, and I really enjoy that story. I just... it delights me as it did last week.
Today I fucked up is quickly becoming my favourite segment.
It really is. I love it because I just think that these people, I'm just like, you are fucking hopeless. They're so hopeless. Like the fact that they had that entire afternoon of discussion, then like, and this one, and then he's out with a luggage or whatever, and it's like, mate, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I read mine?
Do it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to hold a candle to that.
Oh, but it does.
Oh shit!
That was merely the warm up. That was nothing compared to what I have given Alex to read.
The hors d'oeuvre.
Where's H-Bots when you need her? Like, she definitely needs to hear this in Alex's
voice. Oh my god, I
voice.
just got to the end. Oh my god. Well, I kind of got to the end based on the start, but anyway, well.
Clip fingers at the ready and get ready to at H-Bots on Discord with various clips.
I mean, I'm not the person involved in this.
Exclamation Discord if you need the Discord. Yeah, you might as well be.
Today I fucked up by getting circumcised by a sex toy. It's a really good start. Today I fucked up by getting circumcised by a sex toy. COVID lockdown has been very hard on me in the sexual department. He already said hard on, which is incredible. Well done, well written. I'm a male, and I had never considered anything beyond my hand for self-pleasure, like many of us. But these hardships... God, he's really, really hitting the hard concept home, isn't he? These hardships had me looking for something more spicy.
Ships, though. He thinks a lot of himself.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think you want something more spicy on your penis, by the way. I think that's a really bad idea. But at any rate, after a lot of research, good boy, into the different type of tools available, I ended up buying a Riley Reid fleshlight. I'm gotta come back to that at some point. It would be shipped in an anonymous box and sent to my neighbour. And I was excited as could be. A few days passed and I received the package. Naturally, I had to try it out at the next opportunity, which was immediately, right? Together with some water-based lube, I experienced a very new sensation, leaving me more than satisfied with the new purchase. The only downside I found is the cleanup. Doing it the usual way requires little maintenance. A paper towel or tissue is really all that is needed. Not with Riley Reid fleshlights. If you aren't familiar with them, they are basically long, hollow silicone tubes with all sorts of textures inside, making cleaning up a bit of a task. And I only presume that Riley Reid's own vagina looks much the same.
I'm glad that poo is poking out during this. It just adds to the experience. Ooh. Flashlight, you say? Riley Reid, she's my favourite.
She's everyone's favourite. Did read on some forums about...
Which one's Riley Reid? Carry on, I'll look it up.
Now, did read on some forums about the... That's not a sentence, mate. Come on. Now, did read on some forums about the importance of proper cleaning to prevent the growth of mould. Some posts also press users to use alcohol to kill off any life still present.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, she's fit.
But by the way, some posts, you don't... Just read what it says in the fucking literature you got with the fucking thing. Anyway. Not having any alcohol-based disinfectant at home, I decided to thoroughly clean with water to really get any nasty things out there. I let the tap flow through it for a minute. I close up both ends to fill with water and shake violently, seems reasonable, and use my fingers to clean the inside. The next few times I used a pleasure pipe, I used the same cleaning strategy, as it appears to do a good job of keeping it spotless with no nasty odour present. I am confident I am doing a good job. I'm getting through this lockdown well. You know, like, someone's doing well if they feel that they're going to spend like $70 on a fucking fleshlight. But anyway, Q to about a month later. Q is spelled Q-U-E. And I noticed my foreskin has become somewhat tight. I think not too much of it. I decide to leave it and see how it develops. Over time, the tightness only becomes worse, making it move beyond a certain threshold harder and harder. It is at this point I realise I have been improperly cleaning the fake vag, consequently giving me an STD. I start sweating. I end up planning an appointment with my GP, who fortunately does not ask me what this might have caused. What might have caused it, probably. This fucking thing is terrible. Because I'm definitely not going to tell them my Johnson has been the victim of a partial copy of this famous porn actress. My GP prescribes me a cream which I am to use twice a day. If it does not work after a month, I need to come back.
A month?
Now I knew what it means if that cream does not work, because I had done some Googling. Oh, of course, yes, because you went to the doctor and they didn't tell you enough, so you went and did your own Googling. There are only 2 treatments for this condition. Cream, and if that fails, a circumcision. I obviously have never been circumcised. Yes, don't do it a second time. But I was not liking the idea of the reduced sensation that comes with this modification. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to tell you something in a minute. I scrub in this...
I can't wait.
I scrub in that cream for weeks, hoping for the best, while whispering my foreskin sweet things to help its healing process. Though I see an improvement, it is far from enough. and I begin to fear the worst. I get back to my GP and receive the bad news. I have since gone to the hospital, leaving my dear foreskin as I left. Please clean Riley Reid's southern crevice. TLDR, got a fleshlight during lockdown, infected myself by not cleaning it properly, got my foreskin chopped off. Rip his foreskin. Which, is kind of what they did.
It kind of did.
So, listen.
Did you enjoy that, first of all? Let's get that out there.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I mean, I did, but what I feel about this is that, I think it is a lie. I think this reads very much similar to the one we had with the sex toys before. In terms of style, in terms of poor use of grammar, and in terms of over-fictionalizing it, and the phrases they use.
He doesn't seem too cut up about the fact that he's lost his foreskin.
No. Much like the story we had a couple of weeks ago.
I had
a
foreskin cut off.
Right. It's I think it is not true. And when we had that last one, it's the people came round to check my water meter, and I'd forgotten, and I'd left all my sex toys everywhere. And then they just burst into the flat, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they were all in the sink, drying and shit. And it was the way this person had kept saying all these various kind of embellishments and flourishes to this shit, which is completely unnecessary. And in a similar way here, it's the little bits about the next few times I used the pleasure pipe, and if you aren't familiar with them, with lots of textures inside, and the one he says here is, I was whispering my foreskin sweet things to help its healing. It's just, I swear to God, it's the same person. It's the same style of bullshit storytelling. It is the exact same style and kind of genre, sex toys again. I'm telling you now, it's the same fucking person.
Hey, I hadn't considered any of that, but now that you've laid it out I'm fully on board.
I think it's once again, it's what would be a good story that I fucked up about, and I want to tell people, okay, how about I'm wanking and I buy a sex toy and it's maybe a dildo and I get it lodged up my arse. Oh no, that's been done. We can't do that. Maybe a fleshlight. They won't believe me. Let's say it was a Riley Reid fleshlight. That's an important detail that we need to add.
I mean, can anybody else name a different type of fleshlight? Are there other such?
I mean, you wouldn't even
flashlights.
If you want to buy one, and I do not own one, but if I want to buy one, I wouldn't need to buy one named after a porn star. I'd just buy whichever one was on Love Honey and be like, yeah, that's got some good reviews, and it would just be called Fleshlight XXL or something like that.
I mean, even if you watch the porn, right? The porn. At what kind of level do you get to get in there and know whether you want a Riley Reid one for the textures that might come in her nether regions compared to another porn star? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. And also I think that given that I don't know why he thinks that the Riley Reid one will be a good one, but clearly they haven't gone round to her house and taken a mould of her vagina in order to get the... Listen,
no, but
Riley,
they do that with dudes. They do
I've heard that,
porn star molds.
But they're not going to get. Listen, can we just basically take a mold of your
vagina, fill her up with silicone,
yank
it out there,
wrap that shit around,
yeah,
it's just because they just wouldn't. They just put her face on the box. The whole thing's pointless. The fact that anyone would ever opt to, if you went on Love Honey or wherever you want to buy your sex toy from right now and just type in fleshlight and just say what's the best fleshlight.
Other online porn stores are available.
But I couldn't name another one, unfortunately. Maybe Ann Summers might do them or whatever. But you just find whichever one that was suggested on Amazon or something like that, and then just buy that. You wouldn't. And also, by the way, how well is this guy doing during lockdown? He thinks instead, my hand is not enough. He says, I wanted looking for something more spicy. Oh, shut up! No one says that.
My hand is not enough. Alternative titles for James Bond movies.
He says, and when he said, COVID lockdown has been very hard on me. Ha ha ha! But honestly,
it is.
It was the hand!
Entirely to be a replica of her downstairs. Thank you for using the term downstairs. I was trying to find a polite way of saying there. Yeah.
This guy's giving self-care while he reads responses. I bet he is.
I mean, the thing is, the other part of this is, if he was caring for it as he describes, then how the fuck did he get an infection?
Because if you were to... sorry, carry on.
There's not really a whole lot that can fucking go wrong there. As long as you are using some kind of soap and water.
Yeah.
Like, it's your own fucking semen. It's not going to actually do anything.
This isn't, yet again, right? He has an issue with the first one he writes. I swear it's the same guy, or at least inspired by. When the people come around to his house to read the meter, they would never just be able to just walk in. But he needs.
Or even if they did, they would announce themselves.
Yeah, then knock, knock, knock.
Hello, anybody in?
Right. So, but he can't have them do that because it ruins the story. And in a similar way, he needs to say, well, I would have cleaned it with this special stuff, but I didn't, and that's why. So he keeps finding the stories have a loophole, which he then has to kind of fill in effectively, but can't. And with this one, it's like, let me just say, the fleshlight concept is that it's kind of a bit you put your dick in, so it's the kind of silicony, moldy kind of bit that you shove your dick in.
Yeah.
And then it's just a tube, so it's like a cup, like this, and then it's a thing, and you put your dick in this, and then the jizz ends up here. And then all you do...
Please, for the love of God, be clipping this.
And then you take the top off it, and now you've got a jizz cup thing, which you drink, obviously. But I just throw that in there just in case Hannah's there, just to kind of freak her out. Right? Then you take all that stuff out and wash it, but all you've got is like a plastic cup. And then you just wash it. Soap and water will be fine.
Can you take the silicone bit out of the
Well, I presume that... I mean, I take a get. I don't have one of these. But like, as he says, protesting too much. But like, I presume that bit comes out because what would be the point, right?
I mean, if it comes out, surely sometimes when you're, in progress, it would come out, and you'd just be left with a plastic thing in your hand.
Yes, presumably it's solid enough.
Some kind of lock system.
I presume it has a lock system, but like many things, like if you buy, I don't know, something for drinking when you're running, or one of those things you get where you want to put whey protein in something, and then you shake it all up and stuff like that. It's various bits and moving parts for stuff. Eventually, for that to be dishwasher or anything like that, to be dishwasher proof,
you have to take it
right.
apart.
Yeah, right. So I presume in that way, this has to have that function because why would it not be? What was the story Alex thought of while he was reading? It was the story we had where somebody had a lot of sex toys strewn in their bathroom, and they'd been told several weeks before that someone was coming round to check their gas meter.
To read their water meter.
Yeah, well, the water meter. Read the meter, and to make sure they're in for this. And this person was like, I had completely forgotten about this. But then when the day came around, I was in bed, and they came in and started reading the meter, unannounced. And I'm like, chinny rack on. And then, Alex and the jizz cup. Thanks, Research. So then they came in, and much to that person's chagrin and amusement, it turned out that they checked the water meter in the bathroom where I'd left all my dildos drying out. But all the storytelling and the way they described it is kind of just like...
And listing all the different types of dildos
it was just nonsense. Yeah, it was just nonsense.
That was not what Tamsin was referring to. I think she was referring to the moment in which you turned to me and said, I've got to tell you something in a minute.
Oh, that was that what I was talking... When I said, I'm going to tell you something... The thing I was going to tell you was, I think it's the same guy. That's what I was going to tell you. If they have something else, I don't know. We all know that one. No, I don't know. If there's another one, still, I don't know.
Graham said, overuse and abuse can lead to infection. So rather than not cleaning it properly, it's the fact that he's thoroughly enjoyed Riley Reid a little too much. Is that
overuse and abuse? What, you mean of the penis?
Of the penis.
Do you know what? Listen, I'm 45 years old and I've never had a problem. And I'm not, not to put too fine a point under it.
He's overused it a fair amount.
Yeah, there's been some overuse because I'm a sexy man. What can I say? Anyway.
Yeah, so it's ER, night shift.
Night shift. Oh! Is that the time when people come in?
Oh,
I never saw that in the TV show ER.
They only come out at night. That phrase has got to come from somewhere.
Mostly. They mostly come out at night.
They mostly come at night.
Mostly. I could tell you stories.
Oh, please do.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a very Graham's Miss Ice stream friendly
thing.
In the
middle of code names.
We should do a Don't Get Me Started video
Miss Ice
video
Lady
version.
Edition. If you want to send us, Miss Ice Lady, a time when somebody else fucked up from your time anywhere in your life. Send it to me or send it to Jez.
She can't tell them on her stream. But
no, but send them to us.
We've got a forum. Bring them on.
Write it in a Word document. Chuck it over. Whatever.
Yeah.
Send it to me or Jez and we'll read it the fuck out. Totally anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I did still enjoy that one. And with all this information that I've learned from this...
Can't wait to put the clip of this up on this, calling him out for being a lying fucking dirtbag.
I'm just a lying dirtbag. I don't think this makes me want to buy a fleshlight any more than I already did, which was 0.
So not promotion for fleshlight then. You don't think this was written by a member of the fleshlight team?
Do you think? I don't think it ends up doing. If anything, that's backfired. But Alex knows I tell crazy truths. Remember the beer and pork rinds? I know. What was that? The lube? What was that? Something lube. Live, love, and lube. I think it was something like that. We have to remember.
Oh yeah. I have seen those.
Oh yeah. The Slice Lady's incredible.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Well, I think the most bullshit part of this story is the fact that, given the choice, rather than buying, they bought the Riley Reid vaginal version of the fleshlight, when obviously, if you were going to buy one, you'd buy the anal version.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
I just, you could probably go on and look at the person who wrote both things, but presumably
He's still going.
Presumably they'll have
Full textual analysis to follow.
Yes, cliff notes.
Full textual anal.
Quaker steak and lube. That was it. Okay, well let's move the fuck along, I guess. What time is it? 10:15.
Now you did mention that maybe you had something for this. Did you indeed get something in the end?
No, I don't have anything for that. I don't think.
No. Should we do this then? Because we were going to do that and then didn't.
We did that last week.
Did we?
I'm not saying that we couldn't do it again. But I'm happy to do it some more, basically. Or you can do one of your 2 red ones, because actually do the one on the right because they love it.
Okay, fine. All right. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, yeah. People dig it.
Before we move on to the final segment, which you know what it is, we'll do a pre-segment.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to the segment that we like to call, and you like to quote, Lover's Gonna Love.
Hey, buddy.
Donald, this is amazing! You even sound different!
I just feel so happy and relaxed.
Love
This shit I'm
in. Love
This shit I'm
in. Yes, please.
Very popular, Jeremy.
It is very popular.
Even though I don't know what we're going to talk about, but they'll...
Well, Thanks, Harmstone.
Really?
Okay.
Wow, that's up to the race.
I will get to that one in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one immediately for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hit me with your best shot in the
Bullshit
words of,
stories.
Bullshit stories.
A la
I like this guy.
And
Oh, I love him, Jeremy.
do you?
That's what happens in this segment.
Correct.
Yes. Oh, lots of people are jumping in. Hello.
Yo.
Hello, Joe. Yeah, do you know what? People like these, I delight in them. This person and the other person, just like without these people, I mean, what a thoroughly wonderful read from start to finish. And it managed to get us like 10 minutes of amusing Riley Reid stories. I mean, we all enjoy Riley Reid, obviously, in her natural habitat, which was regrettably nowhere near us. But at any rate, I like bullshit. There are so many bullshitters, and it's not just this guy. I've known. Let me tell you now, Jeremy. I have known some quality fucking bullshitters in my time. At least 2 of them work for immigration, and you'd think I'd think they were massive dickheads and cunts of the highest order. But actually, I thought they were funny motherfuckers, and I love them. I love them because without them, you would never have that person you could talk about and say, do you remember that cunt who talks bullshit? In fact, there's 3 people in immigration. There's 3 people I know at immigration that talked absolute bollocks.
Was it a staff of 4?
And it was me, those other 3 people at Ramsgate. And every time I'd come in, I'd say, what happened, Dave? He'd say, well, funny story. Oh my God. So I love bullshitters, and I love people who tell bullshitting stories. I'll tell you one guy, and he still works for immigration, once said, and I think I might have said this before, that he went canoeing off the coast of Ramsgate, got caught in a riptide, and found his way suddenly to Calais.
Yeah, that's a lie.
So he just like, it was like, I'm in a tide, riptide, blah, 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 I'm get caught in it, I'm paddling. And suddenly he looks up and there's a guy with onions around his neck, and he's like, oh shit, how did I get here? One guy I know said that he could grow an extra 2 inches by just straightening out and uncurving his spine. That his normal height would be...
You did tell that one, yeah.
X height. And that by stretching himself up, he could kind of like curl that extra 2 inches out. So I tell you what, tellers of bullshit stories.
I mean, I think he's doing that to the wrong bone, but
yeah, right. Imagine that. It's like, can you make your bone longer? Only my neck, baby. Only my neck. Good for me, not so much for you.
That's not good. That's definitely not going to fit, love. Try again.
So I absolutely adore the tellers of bullshit stories, and also because it always makes us look better by comparison.
Yeah. Joe asks, so who was the one that didn't talk rubbish? Yeah, he's deluded himself into thinking it wasn't him, which kind of proves the point, really.
Yes. Yeah. There were many people. Do you know what? I don't think that's the time to tell that story, but I would tell. I once got given a ticket by the British Transport Police for not having a ticket on the train, and the reason was I didn't buy a ticket, and I tried to leave the station, and when I left the station,
you were caught.
I was caught.
That'll do it.
Now, in my defence, if there is one, and by the way, I don't really give a shit, is that they didn't have, at the time at Folkestone West, they didn't have anyone selling tickets, and the guy never came past me, so the only way for me to do it was when I got to Dover Priory, would be to stop at that point and go, hello, Mr. Ticket Man.
I need a ticket.
I need a ticket because all the other options haven't been options. There wasn't a ticket machine. It's all different now. And by the way, I don't give a fuck about this. I was banged to rights, right? But if you wanted to, just thinking about this, if you want to say, I'd have had to have stopped at Dover Priory and go, retrospectively, I need to pay, I didn't pay. But then, as I was not considering that option, I looked out, and in front of me, because we had to get to the hoverport, they had to take this little shuttle bus that took you from Dover Priory Station to the port. And there was my bus. So I needed to get on that bus. So I ran for the bus, and as I got through, the guy just kind of, the long arm of the British Transport Police grabbed me, and I was done for money.
I mean, had you considered just keeping walking because the British Transport Police don't actually have any power?
Well, I don't think I, even now, or until you just said that, or definitely not then, considered whether they did or did not have any power.
Yeah.
I just kind of engaged with them.
I mean, they can detain you in the same way that, you know, I could detain you as a citizen and like citizens arrest.
Well, you know, Jeremy, I wish you'd been there.
Well, maybe you should have fucking invited me then.
Well, maybe I would have done
before we even
met back in 2004. I think it was.
Yeah.
But like
that was a shit year.
Yeah. So it was bad. I was banged to rights. Whatever I should or shouldn't done, whatever I did, whatever I said, I didn't mean it. No. So they got me, and fuck 2000 indeed.
Fuck 2004. Fuck 2016.
I told us, so yeah.
Other years are available.
In the vein of telling bullshit at work then, I told someone at work what happened. I was quite embarrassed about this story, although not that embarrassed because I'm telling all of you. And it's kind of stupid, right? So I told somebody at work, but I was embarrassed at the time, and I told someone at work who I thought was my friend. And
that was your first mistake.
In confidence, I said, this thing happened. I'm feeling pretty stupid about it. It happened. And then in the on-call room where you're waiting to go down to do some stuff, and you're all sitting around waiting to be in
the on-call room, so you had to go in there and not buy a ticket for it. And then...
Yeah, right. We're sitting there with all the other immigration officers, and everyone's sitting around chilling out. And then this woman goes, "Hey, Alex, why don't you tell them why you got by the British Transport Police?" And I was like, "Oh God." She's like, in fact, I don't think she said British Transport Police. She said, "Why don't you tell everyone what happened when you got caught at the train station and why you're having to go to court and why, you know?" And I was like, "Oh."
Did you have to go to court about it?
I didn't actually have to go to court.
I just had to. It's just you didn't buy a ticket. Here's your fine. Okay, I'll pay it.
Yeah, actually, you only have to go to court if you want to say no, not guilty, basically. But anyway, but she basically said words to the effect of, "Tell everyone here what you got done for at the train station."
It was 2014. I can't remember my own shit years.
Yeah, it wasn't court. But she said something like that. She didn't say court. She said something like that. It was a long time ago. It's like, whatever, 16 years ago. But she basically talked about that. But she didn't say too much about it, which is what allowed me to say the following bullshit, which is the bullshit that I came up with. So she said, "Tell everyone about it." And everyone's like, "Alex, what did you do?" And I was like, looking at her like, fuck, I said, "I don't want to talk about it." And they were like, no, you must talk about it. And they were like, she's like, "Yeah, Alex, go and tell them what happened at the train station." And I was like, "Okay, yeah. the British Transport Police did catch me. And they were like, really? What did you do? And I said, I was graffitiing a train. And they were like, what? And this woman was like, no, that's not what happened. But her, no, that's not what happened, was lost in a
furore.
God,
Alex, I can't believe you're such a rebel.
And I said, yeah, well, I'm kind of into graffitiing. And I know you didn't know about this about me, but I kind of like it.
That's kind of how it works.
That's kind of how it works. And I graffitied a train. But the problem was, it started to move as it went along, so everyone saw the kind of the thing.
Oh, fuck. Now my penis is extra long.
Yeah.
Oh, quick!
And everyone was like, "Oh my god, is this true?"
And
they said, "How did they know it was you?" I said, "Oh, well, I signed my name." And they were like, "Unbelievable! Why did you do that?" And it was all bullshit like that. And in this whole thing, this woman never ever got out why the real reason was that I fucking got done for this thing. So I was a massive bullshitter at immigration as well, and she is a cunt.
I can't remember what segment we're in. Oh, it's Love Is Gonna Love, and
So I love bullshitters. I love bullshit. I think we got a lot out of that.
And I've got to talk about memory foam mattresses. Yeah. Thanks, Hamster.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a hat.
It's a bit late, but it is a hat.
Certainly hat.
Yeah. So happy he forgot until now. Anyway, memory foam mattresses, they're fucking brilliant, right? Because when you go to bed, the thing you really want is either to get into bed and just sink into your bed so that your spine has no real support. And it becomes some kind of gelatinous substance then. You can do what it can do what it wants.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of an angle like a snake, or maybe one part of your spine can face one way while the other faces the other. You know, that straight kind of spine thing, overrated. Nobody wants that.
No.
So memory foam mattress is really good for adjusting your spine. It's like a chiropractor
in your bed.
In your bed.
Yes.
Okay. So there's that option. But it gets even better when you own a memory foam mattress, which is quite hard to say when you've been drinking. For a longer period of time, because it will mold itself to your body.
Right.
So rather than having this, foam surface that does absorb you a little bit, after a while, you'll be able to sleep in your own perfect body-shaped rut.
Wow.
Every single night.
Yeah. I want the Riley Reid version of that so I can sleep in her kind of shape.
Okay, now we are talking. Right.
Do you have a Riley Reid memory foam mattress?
I don't. I have the Jed Show memory foam mattress.
You need to patent that.
It's a lot bigger.
Now, can I ask, in this thing, do you actually have a memory foam mattress?
No.
But you love it. You're going to buy one?
No.
As soon as possible. I have a semi memory foam mattress, and when I'm in it, it gives me a fully. That's not a real thing.
I mean, what is it that you would enjoy about the memory foam mattress? Is it perhaps the fact that, in addition to the crevice created by your body, might it be the pool of sweat that is created within the crevice?
Like an Oxbow Lake. Am I doing that right?
They're wonderful at wicking away the sweat, except they're not. So you are sleeping within your own filth, inside your own crevice.
That sells it.
Yeah, they're great. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want one.
I love them. They're very squidgy. That's the point. I mean, when beds were invented by Mr. Bed, and I was very pleased that they were, people had mattresses and springs and shit, and eventually some bright spark, probably from NASA, said, we're going to make something super squidgy. A memory foam mattress is not just super squidgy, and just they're really or does it just have a permanent indentation of you?
It does eventually. If you're a person that doesn't move very much when they sleep, it does just...
Is it like a reverse Han Solo in Carbonite? You know how in Return of the Jedi he's permanently like this?
It's like the if you turned it inside out. Yeah.
Right. It has a permanent hole. That's pretty sexy. My one is not memory foam. It's like semi-memory. Semery foam.
Alex has a semi. Thanks, Harmstone.
Oh, God. And this fucking... It's almost like I'm deliberately doing it, but, hey.
It's nothing like The Shape of You or any other song.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about anymore. But yeah, I've got a squidgy mattress.
Squidgy semi?
I've got a squidgy semi. And if you turn it over, it's hard. But if you flip it over the other way, it's soft. So if you kind of get bored of one side of the mattress, you can flip it for real. And yeah, you can have it harder if you want. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this.
And if you do want the genuine flip around of that, yes, you can catch the memory foam rant that I just randomly went into on Crosswords and Chill, which was not chill this week.
I see. All. No, I heard that
it was not.
Was it hard in the sense of a memory foam mattress? One of the sides of my
memory. It was the opposite of a memory foam mattress in that it was firm.
It was firm.
The crosswords were firm and were unforgiving
and robust.
Yes.
And
I lost my patience a little bit.
Really? It was the most bullshit crossword ever. I mean, it's just like, as I understand crosswords, aren't they just like descriptions of other words? So then you're meant to like read the description and discover the word.
You'd think so. And I too had made this assumption, as had everybody else.
And they give you a number of letters or something like that.
That's right, yeah. Right. Yeah. Except The Guardian have got this thing that they do where they incorporate bullshit slang words into their crossword every now and again. Okay. And this particular crossword had the bullshittest of slang words multiple times. There were like 4 different slang phrases. I can't remember because my memory's shit, but I'm sure Aletha will pop in right now the most bullshit of them because she was particularly
Your memory's
outraged.
Shit and you don't like memory foam. I think we're getting to the crux of the matter.
Codename for M. I mean, that's a repeat offender. Leave on, that's it. Yeah. Release your grip was the clue.
Okay.
5-2. Leave on.
Release your grip. Leave on?
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
What's Codename for M was another one?
Codename for M was another one. Because The Guardian...
Do they mean like the phonetic alphabet?
They do mean the phonetic alphabet. See, you know what the fuck you're talking about.
So Mike.
But they hate using... They won't call it phonetic alphabet or phonetic term for M. They always say code name. And that does my head in. That's a recurring thing that I get annoyed at.
Oh, The Guardian. It's getting closer to a new song written by Rooster. Yes, indeed.
If only there were a better alternative, because there isn't. Like the New York Times crossword is behind a paywall, and American crosswords are bullshit anyway.
So that's the thing. Like a decathlon, you hate it, but for some things it's the best. You know, you wanna.
It is more decathlon than shed store. Yes.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
In the sliding scale of bullshittery, it is more scale. Decathlon than shed store, with shed store being the extreme.
Yes.
On one end. And I don't know, kittens on the other end.
Don't get me mullered. You might well be getting mullered at the moment, Corey. I hope you are. I hope you're having a muller. I do not have a muller currently, but
I would love to see, and I'm not sure this will mean anything to Corey or anyone else, but I would love to see, and if it does mean anything to him, perhaps he can record it for my enjoyment, a reconstruction of Stone Cold Steve Austin circa the Attitude Era.
Oh yes.
But instead of, Steve Weisers, it's Muller Corners.
Yeah. I do that. Yeah, I do that shit.
Yeah.
I do that shit. I kind of did a little bit with the milk.
That. Anybody.
I didn't make it get all over me because I don't want to put milk into my carpet, but yeah, I would like to do that. Would be quite good. Maybe there should be a stream redemption for that.
Me and Matt did it with Iron Brew when we were teenagers.
Oh yeah,
that's
Corey would like that.
Sticky shit.
Nobody puts Muller in the corner. Very good.
You would in this instance because you'd be on the top turnbuckle, which is a corner. So
yes,
you'd be cornering in the corner.
Stand on a bin bag. I think I need a few bin bags, but yeah, you could safeguard that. Annoyed I missed the start. I was at Annie the musical. You just fucking made a mistake, mate. That's musical shit. Fuck it off, mate. It's shite. Fuck. Don't do it, mate. That's what they say in Scotland. They don't say do. Fucking shite, mate. Get rid of it.
And this was the segment we like to call Alex Does Accents Badly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it could be an accent. Could be a fuck you, Trebek. It was Amdram too. Amdram Annie is the worst fucking Annie. I'm just saying now. Annie is shit. Amdram Annie is like fucking torture. Yeah. I've seen Amdram Annie, and it's just... I wanted to murder them.
Yeah, me too.
No, Alika was in Amdram Annie. It was triple shite. Amdram. Amy. Alex should love on Annie, not right now. I think, okay, well, I don't want to do that immediately. I feel a little incongruous. Maybe you can get me to do it next week, but I fucking can't stand Annie. It's shit. And do you know, when we were at FODS, which was the theatre group I used to be part of, this guy called Bob was directing it, and they needed a guy to play Daddy Warbucks, and a guy who had played it semi-professionally came down to audition for Daddy Warbucks. And they didn't have a guy for Daddy Warbucks. And they're like, where will we get one from? Far and wide will spread the kind of like audition notices, and the guy came down when I actually played it semi-professionally. I know all the words and everything. And the guy who directed it, this guy Bob, was so kind of up his own arse about it. He just went. They auditioned the guy. He was perfect. And then he's like, "Well, no one was good enough, so I guess I'll play Daddy Warbucks myself." So the kind of precious nature of this fucking Amdram amateur in every sense of the word was like they got a guy who was like the dude should do it.
There's a sitcom to be made from your guys' days in FODS. Oh, there must be. Like, so many stories.
Duncan, they didn't even let him audition. Said the role was filled on the phone. Right, see, Duncan remembers this story. It's not even like a great... It's just unbelievable.
Like, you guys need to get together. There is definitely a sitcom in this. Get it written.
The guy who was mixing was absolutely shite. They did a mixing section? I don't even remember that bit in the original Annie. Do they do a kind of a...
My name is...
Annie. For us.
I assume that's how it goes. So
yeah.
I don't really know.
I don't think they do any mixing in the original version. They're all like that in the theatre. If you're not an arsehole, you won't do well. I always had people trying to walk all over me because I was so polite to everyone. Mixing on the desk, my old job. Yes, I have to say, Corey, and I'm going to let you in on something there. I did know what you meant, but I intentionally misunderstood. Anyway.
And I unintentionally misunderstood.
But fucking hell. Honestly. The guy saying, I played Daddy Warbucks on the West End. And he's like, yeah, sorry, mate.
Go on.
Intentionally taking the piss out of me. Well, no, not out of you, but you gave me some stuff to work with. But there'll be plenty of time to take the piss out of you, Corey. You know, the stream will go on.
It's almost like a segment is in there somewhere, you know? Maybe we should roll into it.
Maybe we should.
Is Alex the person for intentionally taking the piss out of Corey?
Perhaps I should ask the question when I say that we're going to introduce a segment. Am I the arsehole?
Am I the asshole? No, it's the children who are wrong.
I'll start giving you more information so you can continue. You're a very kind man. Yes, you are. Thank you, Tallulah. I always felt that Tallulah's got my back, but I think everyone's turning against me. They're all turning against me. Infamy. They've all got it in for me.
You love to see it. And I think the turning point was that bullshit empty book that you bought at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I was looking through things earlier today and noted that the first episode of this year was the empty book stream.
Oh, the empty book, yeah.
I want to say episode entitled "How Much for an Empty Book."
Empty book for sale for £20.
No thanks.
That book has pages in it. Look, fucking Joe et tu T power. Unbelievable. Okay, fine. You know what? I never liked any of you. Go fuck yourselves. Right, shall we get into the segment we've just announced? Am I the asshole?
And you are in control of it this week, so you say, do you want me to go first or you to go first?
I have to say, I think I'll go first.
Cool.
Because...
That's good. It's all the way over there.
Because my one, I think you might agree, disagree. I think you'll mostly agree. But your one is so cut and dry, I think it's a better one to go second.
Okay.
To be fair, you put Joe in the sea and she didn't even deserve it. It's been such a long time, I presume that she did deserve it. Can anyone remember why we put Joe in the sea?
I certainly don't remember.
No. I know she's in there, but I don't remember
Was
why.
it because science?
She said something.
She probably said some science.
She
we were like,
listen,
shut up, science, get in the sea.
That sounds it. Yes, no, that sounds like it. Here's the thing. Joe is.
It was either her or us. So
if you met
she was
Joe,
coming right for us.
If you met Joe, you'd know why she went in the sea. Straight away. Joe is such an antagonistic person that you just like 2 words out of her mouth, you chuck her in the nearest puddle. You know? I'm just saying.
Speaking of puddle, someone from the other side of the puddle, Grimskull, greetings.
Grimskull, welcome in.
Or Grimtings, if you will.
I'm
sorry, I'll never say that ever again.
No, I liked it. Let's do it more. Why do I talk to you? Well, you don't, not for long, because we just find the nearest body of water and fling you into it. And Aletha met her, and Aletha had some choice words to say about Joe.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it on the stream right now, but anyway. So, let us move along. Am I the arsehole?
Yes.
For not... Am I the arsehole for not contributing to my family's expenses related to my wedding? Okay. My fiance, 26F, and I, 28M, are getting married at a destination wedding next summer. The destination is special to my fiance, as she vacationed there with her family a couple of times when she was younger, and it holds sentimental value to her. I was open to the idea since I'm pretty indifferent when it comes to wedding planning, and this seems like an easy way to check a lot of boxes at once. Plus, the added bonus of my fiancée getting a wedding she dreamed about. Of course, the downfall of a destination wedding is that people might not be able to attend. We expected this. I had a lot of conversations about making sure we don't take anything personally if people can't attend. And we're very clear to the people we asked to be in our wedding party about the cost and expectations. There are a couple friends. Right, by the way, it's a couple of. Put the fucking word of in between. Oh my god. Anyway, there were a couple friends I asked to be groomsmen that had to decline due to them having young kids. I totally get that. And I respect that. I'm not an idiot. My wedding is not more important than your kids to you. This hasn't been as much of a problem with my fiance's side, as the family comes from money. And destination weddings are kind of the norm to them. In the time we've dated, I think 4 to 5 of her cousins have had destination weddings, but we only attended one of them, and there was no fuss on anyone's part about the ones we didn't go to. My family, however, does not come from money. When I told my parents and siblings about our wedding plans, they all kind of freaked out about not being able to afford it. I get it. My siblings have kids and expenses too. I told them I understand it if it's not something they're able to afford, and while I would love for them to be there, I won't hold it against them if they can't make it work. My parents have guilted me over it a little bit, but have assured me they will be attending. However, they told me that we should all pool some money together, and by all they mean mostly me, to make sure all my siblings and their families can attend. I told them there's pretty much no way I can do that. My 2 sisters got wind of the idea, probably from my mum, and they said the only way they can attend is if I help pay for at least half of the trips for their whole families, kids included. I kind of laughed at that and told them there is no way I would do that. They said that since I'm the one who decided to have a destination wedding, that it is my responsibility to make sure my family can all attend. I told them that I love them and would love to have them at my wedding, but I'm not funding vacations for their entire family. I said the only way I could even consider it if it would be just them and their spouses, no kids. They said that excluding their kids was not acceptable. They told me that I have turned into a stuck-up arsehole since I got engaged, and I'm rubbing my fiance's money in their faces. They accuse me of having a destination wedding on purpose, to rub it in their faces that they can't afford something. I don't actually say it at the moment, but he then says, am I the arsehole? Destination wedding, by the way, is not a phrase I've heard, except I read another one the other day, which means they want to go somewhere else.
I have heard it, but it does sound like a shit kind of spin-off of Mission Impossible. Destination, :
Now...
Yeah, and I'm much in the Grimskull vein of... I had a semi-destination wedding. I had it miles away from where any of my friends at the time lived.
Right.
Because I didn't want people to come.
Yeah.
It would just save money that way. But then, for some reason, they came anyway.
Now, there's some extra bits on this I'm just about to read, but yeah, that's basically the crux of his original post. And he's basically saying, my fiance's family has shitloads of money, so it's easy for them. I know my family, who I'd love to have come, can't afford it.
Must be nice.
But them's the breaks, I guess, fuckos. So then various people weigh in on this, saying that such arsehole behaviour. And someone says, and there's an edit from this that he then responds to. By the way, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know what people are saying. But at any rate, someone said, it hurts them to watch you choose money over their participation in your life. It hurts them to be excluded from the wedding of their close loved one. And then he says, because he's been asked to put a comment in it, he says, meh, they don't really show much interest in my life anyway. Shit, when my sisters FaceTimed me to complain, it was the first time either of them had taken the time to call me in almost 18 months. I am 10 years younger than my older sister and 8 years younger than the other. I have been an afterthought in their lives ever since they started having kids. I don't hold it against them. I get it. Their families are the most important things in their life. I make sure to send cards for each of their kids on their birthday, gifts for every kid at Christmas. I don't even get a text from them on my birthday. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm kidding myself into thinking I actually want them there. This is just my subconscious reminding me that I don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about me unless they think they can get something out of it. But for them to act like they actually care about my important life events kind of makes me laugh now that I think about it. So that information that actually he's not close to his family was not included in the original version. Now, so when he does the original bit, people go, what an arsehole. But now he's revealed, under the fact that he's been called an arsehole, now he's saying, oh, actually, we're not actually that good friends, and actually they never talk to me and they never call me. So maybe I'm not that fussed about it. So I'm like...
I mean, everyone's got that part of the family that you invite, expecting them to decline because, you know, they don't care and they're too busy.
Suddenly the stream turns onto his side at this point. The thread turns onto his side and goes, do you know what, actually, with this new information, you're not the arsehole. And maybe these people aren't so good. And he says, I guess maybe I'm just coming to that same realization that I should expect nothing from my family. When I graduated college, my oldest sister texted me 2 months later to congratulate me because my mum had just reminded her. I got nothing from the other sister. I moved to a new city after I graduated, lived there for 4 years. At a family gathering, my own other sister told me she had no idea I lived there and said you'd always wanted to see the city, so maybe she'd come visit. She never did. Turns out that actually...
his family are cunts.
He hates his family. But it wasn't something he put in the original bit. And something other people said, and I don't know about this. This is the thing that gets me. I don't know how everyone feels about this, but it's like he didn't include the stuff about his family. He came to that conclusion because the first few thread posts were like, oh my God, what an arsehole. Your parents... Because in the thing, he says, my parents, they've had to scrabble together to money. His parents couldn't afford to go, but they kind of found a way to go. Because they're going to spend all this money. Like, you couldn't afford to fucking give your parents the money to do it? Or ask your fiance? Like, my parents can't afford this. Can you help me out, sweetie? And she goes, yes, of course. Or no, or whatever. But, like, off the back of people calling him an arsehole, he was like, oh, did I not mention? It feels strange that I didn't mention at the time. I don't like any of them. And it just seems super disingenuous to me.
If these people come.
Yeah.
So their financial problems in coming mean little to me. Which is it is a pretty arseholey thing to say, but I can relate.
I think my issue with it, I mean, actually, like, if you want to have this thing, go and do your thing and stuff like that. But I think it's super sus that he's like, oh shit, the heat's on. I don't actually like them and they don't like me. And they're all, oh, you should have told her this in the first place. So anyway, what's everyone saying about this? Not the arsehole. He chose to have the wedding somewhere his folks can't get to. You can see why they'd be upset. His party, yeah, he can do whatever he wants. I think my parents, if I got married, I think my parents would be annoyed if they couldn't make it. And if I kind of deliberately froze them out of that, I think that would be a bit dickish. I'd like them to come, obviously. Unless you found out later that I don't like my parents, in which case it's fine. That news might only come a bit later.
I don't think he's the arsehole for this, says Duncan Thesinger. I suspect he's still an arsehole. Yes.
He does only come... Like, some of this stuff in it is like, hey, look, I'm not an idiot, man. His language is very kind of, hey, listen, what's the problem? Oh, yes, I have a manor house, that's true. I can hold it in one of my many wings.
That one, for example.
Yes, the West Wing. He doesn't really owe his family anything. He's not prioritizing his wife's money over his family. He's prioritizing her happiness over his family. If you look at the thread, actually, which you could find pretty easily, the first poster is like, you know what you're doing, mate. You don't want them there. And then later on, he comes to this sudden epiphany. Oh my God, you're right. God, all these times when they...
I mean, it does sound like it's really the fiance's doing this destination
she
wedding.
Really wants
in the
to do
expensive
this
place,
thing.
and her family have got the money to do it, so they've just gone with it, and it hasn't really been a thought. He seems mostly estranged from his entire family, and is like, yeah, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. That's their choice.
Yeah. I think that if I was her, and I was talking to him, he's like, oh, my parents can't come because they can't afford it, and they come from money, and they just go on. Well, they go to weddings and do this all the time. I think I would say, as the fiance, I'd be like, well, let's make sure they can come then, darling. Let's make sure your parents can get there. How much do they need? What needs to be done? It would be super strange, I think, if I could afford something to be withholding. If I was the person with all the cash, and my other half, who I love dearly, said my parents can't come because they can't afford it. We priced them out. I'd be like, that'd be ridiculous. Don't be stupid. Of course they're coming. Don't be stupid. Money's no object. Don't worry about it. But,
your illegitimate Scottish child, Corey, would like to know if he's invited to your wedding.
Yeah, you can definitely come along to my wedding. Absolutely. Come all the way down here, wherever I'm. Well, I mean, I don't know where I'm going to have it.
Will you pay for him to get there?
Would I pay for you to get to my wedding? No. No, I will not pay. It'll be in England. It'll be in England. You can get a train ticket. Would your secret child be invited?
Yeah.
A child so secret that I don't know where to send the invitation?
He's the secret child.
Oh, he's the secret child. Oh my God. Corey, you're actually of the right age to be the secret child. But you're not. That makes you the arsehole. Well, you know,
we've
long since established that.
You don't know he's not. Might be.
Yeah.
You could be his dad.
Who needs marriage when you've got a Riley Reid fleshlight? Hey, who needs marriage when you've got Riley Reid, on Pornhub? That's free, Yeah, I think we look pretty similar.
A lot of ads on Pornhub.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. I thought that was interesting because I thought there was a kind of a potential is he, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it was pretty, as far as this
how did it feel
is concerned, it was pretty cut and dry. He's not the arsehole.
That's interesting.
He might be an arsehole, but he is not the arsehole in this situation.
The thread initially is very much against you and then is very much with you. They flip-flop like a pair of flip-flops. But this one, however, that was Alex, I like the cushion with you and Jules. Yeah, apparently you're Jules Holland.
I don't know what Jules Holland looks like.
Well, when he's not wearing a hat, he looks just like you, or a beard. Very similar. But yes, that was merely the starter. I just wanted to get you started. Roll credits. But this one, well, I don't know. See for yourself what you think of this one.
If you want your own Jules Holland cushion, you can get one at Redbubble. They're currently doing 25% off. Enjoy. Right. Am I the arsehole for not letting my boyfriend use my dishes? So a little backstory. My boyfriend, 20M, and I, 20F, same age, usually have dinners every weeknight together. I struggle with making food for myself, but when it's with him, it's easier and slightly fun. Lately, I've been struggling to keep up with my dishes, and they would sit in the sink ranging from days to weeks on end because I just can't get the mental energy to deal with them. I'm in college and graduating this year, and my classes are beating my ass. How'd you get that kind of service?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that class. And so is my depression. So I came with a solution to not have as many dishes in the sink. Radical man. I only kept out 2 of everything, like 2 plates, forks, spoons, bowls, and then only a few kitchen utensils, like a spatula, obviously, and a big spoon. I even bought styrofoam plates and plastic forks, so if I'm not feeling like doing the dishes, I can use those. So far, it's been working pretty well, but since I cook with my boyfriend a lot, I always have all of those dishes in the sink. He seemed to think that my strategy was pointless because I just end up letting it get disgusting again because that's just how I am. Anyways, one night, he comes over for dinner, but my 2 plates were already in the sink because I used them earlier. We make dinner and no problems. I pay the dishes no mind, but when I asked him to serve the food on styrofoam plates, he got really upset. He didn't say a word after I asked him, and went reaching for where I stored the other dishes that I wasn't using. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was getting us real plates for dinner. I didn't get why he was going for the ones I specifically put away, and I said, if you want real plate, great phrasing, I can just wash one from the sink really quick. He denied letting me do that and insisted we use the plates from the ones I put away because in order for me to get better, I had to use all of my dishes and then wash them. I told him no, that I had perfectly good plates we could use out already, or we could use the styrofoam ones, and that it wasn't a huge deal. He told me I was being ridiculous, and then started grabbing the other plates out of the cabinet. I tried to grab a stack of plates with bowls on top of them, trying to get them back, and he ended up letting go of the bottom and letting them drop to the ground. They shattered all around my feet, and he just said, "If you won't use them, then you don't need them anyways." And he let himself out of my apartment. Luckily, I was wearing shoes, but my leg got a few cuts. He proceeded to not talk to me for a few days, and when he did ask me if I was done being dramatic and blowing the situation out of proportion, I had texted him explaining I was super upset that he did that, and that it was borderline crazy that he dropped them because he didn't get the outcome he wanted. He told me I was the crazy one and that the plates just slipped, and he didn't even mean for me to get cut, for them to fall or me get cut, and he was just trying to help me combat my depression and come out of it stronger. Which was the end of the original thread.
Yeah.
Update. I went and talked with him tonight at a restaurant. That's good, they've got people who do the washing up. To figure out if this was a one-time thing or an indication of worse behaviour in the future. I decided that even if it was a one-time thing, I really don't feel safe / I can trust him anymore. So at dinner, I told him I'm going to think about it, but honestly, I'm just going to text him and break up so I don't have to deal with it in person. I still feel kind of bad for breaking up with him over dishes, but as many of you have pointed out, it's much more serious than that. Thank you for those that are PMing me. Obviously, you slide into the DMs of somebody who's at the end of the relationship. Well done. There's quite a few, but don't worry, I plan on breaking things off with him. Any suggestions on how to do that safely? Update 2. I've decided to break up with him at some coffee shop tomorrow, and I'm having my sister come and sit outside in case anything goes wrong. Also, for those who are telling me styrofoam is bad, I had no idea, and I'll be switching to paper or a compostable option immediately. I have a composting bin. Composting? Word. So I might find ones that work for that. Thank you to everyone who is kindly educating me on why they're bad for our planet.
So yeah, it does take a bit of a turn. But yeah, when I read that, I was like, fuck me, what a dickhead. So yeah, she's like, everything's on top of me. So what I've done is I thought I'll only use the same amount of plates. Or if it feels really on top of me, I'll just use styrofoam. So I'll use a disposable thing. Then he comes around and goes, I'll just throw your plates on the ground. This is the thing, you know, about people who want to abuse. It's like, I'll help you. Smash, you weren't going to use them anyway. Bye. And then he leaves. Don't even clear them up.
What's the general opinion?
Well,
here?
At the beginning, they were like, clear up your shit, you grotty person.
Yeah.
And then when he dropped everything on the floor, flipped her off and left, as it were.
Yeah.
They were all like, oh, fuck. No, fuck that dude.
I mean, I think everyone's a fucking moron here, to be honest. I'm not sure this is as like abusive as it sounds.
I really think it is.
This is one side of a story.
That's true.
And like, did he actually like just take them and smash them on the floor?
Yeah, her thing was that he says, I want to get to use these other things, so he pulls them out, and then she's like, no, I don't want you to use them.
And she says she grabbed the stack.
She grabs the stack.
So
and
did he throw them on the floor in an abusive kind of way, or did it just end up because she was trying to grab them and he was trying to hold them and just went smash and whatever?
What she says
and
is,
at that point he was like, this is fucking stupid.
She says he took his hands away from the bottom. And as a result, just like, you know, she's like trying to... So he took his hands away from the bottom and then they just fucking dropped. And he's like, well, you weren't going to use them anyway. And then left. And it's like, if I had accidentally done something and smashed Aletha's plates, for example, I would be like massively sorry. And I'd be picking them up. I wouldn't just be like, bye, you got to learn to get better. So I just like, you know...
I just think they're both as bad as each other.
I do not think they're both as bad as each other. But I'm glad this has been so interesting because I didn't think this would... Wow, you know, like all Am I the Arseholes, people have different opinions on who is arseholing and who is not, basically.
Yeah.
But I think that's the end of that relationship.
What's the phrase for this one? Everybody sucks here.
Yeah. By the way, I think I'd quite like to link this and maybe the other one, but maybe this one in the thing. But, I'm trying to read what everything's. But yeah, I'll link it and then you can read the kind of various bits and pieces if anyone cares. But I mean, what's it say? Am I the arsehole for not
letting my boyfriend use my dishes?
Not letting my boyfriend use my dishes. You can look it up. By the way, I think Aletha said something earlier about, does anyone else's mum wash the last bit of the soap down? I mean, this came from earlier and it's nothing to do with
Wash the last bit of the soap down?
Yeah, like when it's in a small little bit of soap left, just wash it away to nothing. I think that's what you said, Aletha, but I really want to hear you say it again because I read it and then we moved on. But it was like...
What do you mean? Like if there's a little bit of...
There's a little sliver of soap.
Right.
And it's still got the Imperial Leather label on it. I don't fucking know. Right, I'm just like... So the soap has managed to get down to a small bit.
Right.
It's ostensibly still usable to wash your hands with.
Yeah. But they just waste it effectively to get it gone.
Yeah. Because my parents would never ever do that.
I don't use bars of soap. I use liquid soap, so I don't know.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, it basically... People think, just wash up. Until he chucks shit around, and then they're like, oh, fuck that dude. Here's where I think it's going to go south fast if she dumps him. He's obviously given her reason to think that, which makes me think that smashing wasn't out of character. All she does...
Or it's a massive overreaction.
I mean, it could be. It could be.
We're making a lot of assumptions here.
Yes. We only have her side of the story.
Based on one side of a story.
Yes. But if it's true, it's pretty fucked up. But anyway, it's hard to tell. Maybe I will link it and you can all have a look at it and make your own decisions.
I mean, I assume she goes ahead and responds to other things and things as well.
Dilute. Does anyone else's mum dilute the hand wash when it gets so long that it's not running? Oh, I thought you meant like rub the soap down to nothing.
Mums. Yeah, not me.
That's not what I said, but I'll say it again. Does anyone else's mum dilute the hand wash when it gets so low that it's not running low anymore? I don't know that my mum does that. I did misunderstand what you said, but like...
I do that.
At work, they do that. At work, when there's like very little left, they kind of take the top off and then water it down, so you just got watery, soapy nothing.
I do it more to actually get that last bit out, because when there is a tiny bit...
It's hard for
the pump does not actually reach
not...
it. Yeah. Whereas you can get a few more pumps out of it with a bit of water. I wouldn't use it down to water gone. So, the one at work, they kind of keep adding water to, so until you eventually now it's just like it's just water, and I'm like, no, just buy another one, she does it to back up to 70%. Just buy another one. That's excessive. Okay. You should dump her or throw her plates on the floor or something, whatever the appropriate response is.
I can relate to feeling overwhelmed and managing things to cope with that, not to the extent of not washing up. Yeah, she was washing up. She was just feeling so difficult, and then it was all in the sink, and she was having trouble. And some days she was fine with it, and some days she wasn't fine with it. So what she was saying, like, on the days that I'm fine with it, I only have to deal with 2 plates. On the days I'm not fine with it, I'll use temporary.
I was fine with the using like styrofoam or disposable or whatever plates and all that kind of thing. I think I'm going to put everything away apart from 2 things is really hiding from your problems.
There's that to a degree. I actually only have 2 of everything in my... Well, not of everything, but I, at one point, when I was living alone, would just have... I have, like, 2 bowls in my house and, like, 2... Not 2 knives and forks and stuff. I have 2 bowls, though.
But you owned 2. You didn't have 6 and put 4 away.
No. Yeah. I can understand, like, sometimes, like, there's a restriction thing. Like, if I have a massive... If you want to diet, some people say, like... If you have a big plate, you'll fill the plate. So you get smaller plate. So I get the idea of restricting it, and that was her response. But does anybody else's mum remind you to watch the car door, even when you are the most unlikely person to bump the car door? Daft person. I don't think my mum says that one specifically, but I'm pretty sure that they can file that on the parents saying stuff that like, no, I'm not the person that's going to do this shit.
I don't think I've been in a car with my mother for about 20 years. So.
I did that. Then my parents bought me a load of crockery for Christmas. It was like, that was deliberate. I didn't need...
I mean, if you are a single person that lives on your own, 2 is more than enough.
My tactics as Tamtanak is to have 8 of everything, then smash 6 of everything, like a clumsy knobhead.
Well, as long as it's a plan.
I do that with I do that with glasses, wine glasses, but not purposefully. Does anyone else's mum absolutely adore Gary Lineker?
I mean, you can thoroughly relate to that, right?
Oh, you've been talking about that, but yeah, I can absolutely say my mum does not like Gary Lineker, and she would definitely not eat his crisps. Always be chatting. That's me. Did you use my nail brush, or did my parents clean my sink when they came over on Wednesday? Did I? How are those things connected? I did not use your nail brush. I have cleaned your sink though at one point. So no, I think your parents cleaned your sink when they came round. I'm glad we're getting this out.
Let's put everything out on record.
I don't know if my mum does, but I do. I like Gary Lineker. It was probably a poltergeist. Yes! Leaping from the shower section to the basin section. The D in DGMS stands for domestic. Domestic, get me started. It's not as catchy as our original one.
It is not.
When we reboot it, maybe. Why do parents feel the need to sort out your house? You know, like my mum was always like, I'll come round, I'll sort it out. Do you know when I had hair, my mum would want to brush my hair. She's like, come here, I'll sort out your hair. And my dad would be like, Anne! You don't need to brush his hair. He can brush his own hair. And my mum would be like, he just needs a visit to Mr. Hairbrush. And honestly...
He needs a visit to Mr. Hairbrush.
Isn't that amazing? That's
adorable.
I know, but this is my mum. He just needs a visit to Mr. Hairbrush. Now come here.
If you juxtapose that with, Gary Lineker hate, it really tells a different story. Two different stories of your mother. But...
It does. She is brilliant.
And he hasn't got any hair.
Leave it alone. Don't tell him any more stuff. When we were doing the radio, we used to frequently talk stuff about my parents, and my dad's like, don't tell him anything. He'll just use it. I'm like, and I would. And I absolutely would. My parents come over and keep trying to do garden jobs every time. My mum would like, do you need me to do this? Do you need me to do... Let me come over and I'll help you tidy up a bit. How's the flat? And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll come over and tidy it. I'm like, my flat's fine.
I couldn't get my parents or relatives or extended family to do shit. I bet when we moved to Folkestone and we had a big garden in the place that we rented in a few streets that way, I'd tried to get my aunt and uncle, who are massive garden people, to just, hey, yeah, my garden is just looking a bit like shit. I don't know what to do. Maybe you should come and help me or something. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, I couldn't get anyone to help me.
They would help me with quite a lot of stuff. Come here, Alec, you need Mr. Hairbrush on your little head. She would be a bit like that. I think I want a whole Mr. Hairbrush cartoon. Sometimes my mum would say to me, have you cut your toenails? Now the thing is that, yes, I do cut my toenails, but I know that there's an implication there that she will cut my toenails if I ask her to, right? Which is absurd, right? And the fact of the matter is...
Slightly disturbing, actually.
She won't, but it's...
all the more disturbing by the reaction on Winnie the Pooh's face to listening to all of this. He's like...
Yeah, no, she won't, but she's like, are you doing this? And then I know it's an opportunity to wind up my dad, right? Because
does she actually do that?
No, she doesn't do it, and she doesn't want to do it. But she'll just say...
No, I mean, does she try to wind up your dad?
No, she doesn't know. All she's saying is something like, have you cut toenails? Little mumsy, little stupid shit. And I'd be like, yeah, mum, I've cut my toenails. But then one time, I went, oh, no, mum, I haven't. God, but I'm sure they'll be okay. And she went, oh, no, you've got to cut your toenails. Because she's worried I'm going to get ingrown toenails. She's just trying to mumsy me, right? So I'm like, oh, no, mum, I haven't. But I'm sure they'll be fine. There's only a small bit of redness or something like that. She went, oh, no. You've got to cut them. And I'm like, oh, no, I'll be fine. She was like, and she was like, no, you absolutely have to. I said, well, mum, if you want to do it, that's fine by me. And I'm taking off my socks and I'm putting my feet out like this. And my dad's like, no, this isn't happening. What's going on? And I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. So the whole thing is just an opportunity to fucking troll my father. I'll troll one of my parents at one time. Oh, you know what, Mum, you're absolutely right. Perhaps you'd like to help me out here. So no, she doesn't do that, but she just likes to check up on me randomly. Does she still ask you? No, she doesn't.
No, he put a stop to that by suggesting that she cut his
Yeah. That's such stupid shit. So funny. Any opportunity to wind up my mum. There was this point where, like, my brother had I think I might have said this, but my brother had a birthday cake, and on it was like a happy birthday icing sugar thing.
As they often have.
Yeah. But it was a separate thing that had been... the cake was blank, and they were adding this thing that they bought separately on top of it. And it was blue, and it was bright blue. And it's just icing sugar, an egg, and you could just eat it. It's edible, because you put it on a fucking cake. It is not a bit of plastic. It is actual food. And it's bright blue. And I should say at this point, my mum has always had... She always tells me the story that the reason Vincent van Gogh went mad is because he painted with cobalt blue, which has lead in it, and that he would like lick the paintbrush to kind of get water on it, dip it in there, and he would consume the cobalt blue lead paint, and it sent him mad, and he cut his ear off, right? So this is what she thought. And she's always said that. So when we talk about cobalt blue, she's like, oh, well, Vincent van Gogh, Alex, went mad because of cobalt blue paint. And,
right.
Right. And I'm like, okay, sure. Anyway, so on my brother's birthday, we were eating the cake, and I said, I want to eat the happy birthday decoration, which is bright blue. And she's like, don't eat that. And I said, you can eat it. What's in it? And I took a massive bite out of it. And now it just says, ha-bur. Right? I take a massive bite out of it. And she said, you can't eat that. I said, let's just read the ingredients, shall we, Mum? And I said, like, egg white, icing sugar, water, flavouring, cobalt blue. And she was like, cobalt blue? You can't, what's this? You can't have cobalt blue flavour. That's what bloody Vincent van Gogh died of. And I'm just like, Mum, I hardly think... and she was just like, John, he's and I'm just like, and I was like, and he's winding you up. and it's that sort of fucking shit. So there you go.
And many more.
Long may it continue. Hello, Hannah.
Yes. Hannah, you need to go back and check out some of the clips from tonight. They've been curated especially for you.
Especially for you.
But I think we are barreling towards a conclusion.
We are. I feel I'm bringing everyone back on side that dislikes me.
Keep thinking that.
I do. I think Tamsin's back on side. I think Joe's back on side. Harmstone's back on side.
Show of hands, folks. Who's back on side?
I think everybody. Everybody. I don't read the chat right now. I don't need to read the chat at the moment.
Wow. Well, if
can
we
put a
read
poll
it,
up?
I'll just say, nah, go fuck yourself from Tamsin. I think that's pretty cut and dry. I don't think you're winning anybody over. So you're going to have to turn inwards. And keeping on the theme.
Yes.
If you were going to buy a fleshlight, whom would it need to be modelled after for that prime fleshlight experience?
Well, I think it would have to be Duncan the Singer's face.